you are stagehands, and you said you'd be stagehands and do odd jobs around the place. And you expected odd jobs to be like help move chairs.
This sounds like something I'd be really into. Tell me more about it later.
Yeah.
Hello!
Kia ora, internet.
Sorry, we're so late. We went and had dinner at a new place in our neighbourhood called TG Eatery, and it was really nice.
Yeah. In other news, TG Eatery is really good, and you should try it out.
And they're also really kind to
poor idiots.
Idiot gaijins like
who
us.
Who don't realise that what looks like a... they give you these huge bowls to make your own hot pot in, and so we were like, oh, look at the size of this bowl, let's put yummy things in it, and then they said...
this is like enough food for 2 people in one bowl. And so,
are you sure you want this much?
And so they very kindly took our second bowl away and just fed us from the one bowl, and it was already
more than enough for 2 people.
And also...
it was delicious. It was really, really nice. It's a lovely place. Lovely staff.
So we'll definitely be going back there.
Yeah.
All right. A few more plugs before we get into the business of the day.
Yes.
Check out the Bundle Buddies podcast. That's Bundle Buddies. They're talking about the Black Lives Matter bundle that happened back in June. And episode 12 that they just did features 9 Lives of Nim.
Woo!
And they have a pretty nice review. They did criticize a few things that I completely agree with.
Yeah.
It was my first game, so, yeah. Oh, look. Hi, spam bot. Whoop, whoop.
Well, hey.
Want to become famous.
Want to become famous?
Not personally, but I want my games to be
followers
famous.
Primes?
Yeah, and Amazon Prime subscriptions.
Oh.
Yeah.
And viewers on...
a Russian website.
Classic. On a Russian website.
Classic.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks.
Smart.
Thanks for that contribution to the conversation.
Thank you for following us.
They didn't follow, James.
Oh my god, spam bots these days.
Actually, I've heard about a whole lot of follow bots. They'll just jump in and you'll get 800 followers just like that. You can't celebrate when that happens. You have to report it.
Yeah.
In case Twitch think that you did it.
Right.
Yeah, so it's awful. I don't get why they do it. I really don't. So yeah, Bundle Buddies, the podcast, and they play all of the games in the bundle, and they give pretty cool reviews, which will help you, if you got that bundle, it will help you not waste your time on things that you might not enjoy. So that's the suggestion. Speaking of things that are on itch.io, if you go there and check out Her Gentle Highness, it's the next game that I'm developing for PC. It's going to be on Steam eventually, but right now it's just in demo mode on itch.io, and I am looking for people to give me their opinions on the game mechanics. Specifically, there's for in-game reasons, some of your dialogue options are timed, and it's supposed to be stressful, but I want it to strike the balance between fun and stressful.
Yeah. If you go too far one way or the other, it doesn't quite work.
So I've already had the suggestion, which is something I already was thinking about in the back of my mind, of putting in different difficulty levels.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm totally going to do that, especially now that some random person on the internet, I've had one demo test already, has said that that's something they'd really like to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, if
that makes sense. So you can have a more peaceful game, or you can have a more
if you're an experienced player, you can really punish yourself by having a second to choose the correct answer. If you go and give a little review, give a little feedback on what you think of the mechanics and anything else, then I will put you in the credits for the eventual release.
Nice.
So yeah. Also, just this week on itch.io again, I put the 11th chapter of the Street Rat story. So it's a little
cute
little 8-bit game that you can play, and it's set in the Dragons of Tirenia setting, and it's the 11th out of 12 chapters, so I wrap the whole thing up next month.
You have a lot to put in the next chapter.
I'm excited because this is the one, since I don't have to account for multiple storyline branches.
Yeah,
this is the one where I can branch out, and there'll be multiple different endings.
And we've got an idea about how we will manage that, because this could wind up having an impact on the world, just like all of our games do.
Yeah. Yeah. I also just released just last night, released last week's podcast. I'm a little bit behind this week. Things have been pretty busy this week.
Oh, there's a different type of week.
But yeah, so that's out now, and our topic is our two classic whipping boys again: capitalism and Wizards of the Coast. So.
I feel like we're actually a little bit unfair to Wizards. I was thinking about this, and yeah, they do a lot of tokenistic support for like LGBTQIA stuff in particular.
Yeah,
but that's not nothing.
Yeah, okay, I hear you.
And the current edition, is more inclusive than any other edition in the past. Sure.
I think we should always keep pushing them more and more.
But we do need to keep pushing them.
Yeah. Did we just get a follower?
Demetriel.
Are you a Russian bot?
Thanks, Demetriel. Even if you're a Russian bot, that still makes me happy.
I hope you're not.
I hope you're not.
Though. I mean, you can be Russian so long as you're not a bot.
Yeah.
We like
what about
Russians.
A bot but not Russian?
No bots.
No bots.
No bots of any nationality.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we get bots spammed, I'm just going to have to delete them all, and that's going to be painful.
Anyway.
But welcome, Demetriel. So I should really translate my games into Russian because I keep getting emails from Russians going,
you do.
Translate your game into Russian. I'll think about it. I'm very busy right now with the Chinese translations. You had a plug.
I've got two plugs. I've got two plugs. Okay. So these are for geeky charity causes.
Cool.
For different levels of charity. So the first one is World Builders.
Of course, it's that time of year again.
It is. And I wish we had spare money, but we don't.
Hello!
Hey!
BC. Where's BC?
British Columbia.
Oh, is it? Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hello.
Welcome, Canada. There's going to be a huge lag between the comments.
There is, yeah.
So yeah. Sorry,
anyway, yeah. So World Builders is this massive charity effort that gets put on every year to raise money for Haifa International, which is about helping people in developing countries to get themselves out of poverty. It's a really worthwhile cause, and tons of authors and gamers and companies and geeky celebrities and personalities wind up offering things. You can either donate money and then you could win one of, last thing I saw, they said they had something like 2,000 books that have been donated to them to give away.
Wow.
And it's just raffled off. So it takes ages for them to organize it. So 6 months later, when you've forgotten that you donated, you might wind up getting this completely random book that you never heard of before show up on your doorstep. And that's kind of cool.
I really like the story about World Builders where, isn't there something signed by Neil Gaiman?
Yeah, the most famous thing, I don't know if it's still in there, I don't know if it's not. I haven't kept up with this one. There was a signed advanced reader's copy. Advanced reader's copies are quite collectible. And yeah, signed a copy of Stardust. And that got won in the raffle because he didn't want to make it that you had to bid on it. It got won in the raffle by someone who said, thank you very much, but actually I'd like to donate it back so that you've got this amazing item.
Cool story.
And then this repeated for years and years of people winning the book in the raffle and then donating it back to World Builders.
So it's got this whole tradition. It's such a lovely story.
I don't know if that's still there, but I did see there's also things that you can bid on if you'd rather do an auction for the really special things. There's a typewriter signed by Neil Gaiman.
Wow.
If you want the world's coolest typewriter. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, like I said, all the money goes to really good causes. And they do streams, they do challenges when they reach certain levels of funding. I remember, again, Neil Gaiman, I'm seeing a theme here, reading Green Eggs and Ham. That was pretty cool. Patrick Roth was the main guy who organised it. He's the guy who wrote The Name of the Wind. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Cool. What's your other charity?
And my other plug is Project Northmore, which I just found out about this morning. Project Northmore is trying to raise £6 million so that they can buy J.R.R. Tolkien's house in Oxford and turn it into the first museum/literary centre dedicated to Tolkien.
That'd be rad.
Which would be so rad. So it's the people involved are a bunch of celebrities who are connected to Tolkien. What?
You know what we should do? We should do, to help them out, we should do a charity stream of us playing Lego Lord of the Rings with you waxing lyrical with nerd lore while we do it.
I do have a lot of nerd lore.
You do have a lot of nerd lore. That would be incredibly fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
That would be incredibly fun. Okay, I'll write that down to look into that a bit more, because that could be a really cool thing to do.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's being run by Sir Ian McKellen, Sir Derek Jacobi, who wasn't in the movies, but he narrated one or two of the audiobooks, or some of the audiobooks. John Rhys Davies, Martin Freeman, Annie Lennox, because she did the soundtrack for
she was the third
Return of the King.
Yeah.
And I think there might be some other people too.
Yeah.
So yeah, a very, very cool geeky cause. And so they've got different things that they're doing where you can either donate money to get, I think it's like Hobbit gift, Dwarf gift, Elf gift, Man gift, Wizard gift. And at the lowest level, they sort of say thank you, and at the highest level, they dedicate a room to you, but you have to have some obscene amount of money to get that one. Utterly obscene amount of money. And they've also got a shop where you can buy stuff online to support them. Yeah. We still don't have any money.
No, we don't, but
the stream is pretty cool.
Let's think about the live stream. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Otherwise, we could always try out the One Ring role-playing game for the first time.
Could do.
Yeah.
Could do.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. I for one, would love to replay. Lego Lord of the Rings was like one of the fun, best shared gaming experiences we've had.
But that's because you didn't have to be Frodo.
Yeah, this time I'll be Frodo in that awful level where he has to hide. Oh, I hate it, but I'll be it anyway. Okay. Hi, Geekly!
Hi, Geekly Kitty!
Good to see you. You're just in time. Well, actually, I mean, you know all this stuff, but we need to do the wrap-up. Not the recap now.
The recap, yes.
Yeah, you've skipped all the plugs. Look at that. We spent 12 minutes advertising mostly for people who aren't us.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Here we are now. Let's see. Let's do a really brief recap if we can. Who am I kidding? This is going to take another 5 minutes, so go get a cup of coffee if you want.
All right.
What have we done? Because it's been like 3 weeks since we.
It's been ages.
Streamed.
We got sick. We got busy. We got
did the charity
sick
stream.
And busy. Kiwi Loza.
Oh,
hello, Kiwi Loza.
A different screen name, but we know who you are. Hello. Yeah. Cool. So where did we begin?
So, Ambrogio and his foster family are travelling around Tirenia.
Getting their apprentice passport signed.
Learning different smithing techniques. And at one of the first stops, Ambrogio made a magic sword. Oh, I'm not just finding excuses to wave a larp sword around, almost.
Dagger.
Letter opener. Yeah, Ambrogio made a sword which has got the spirit of his mum inside it, which has since been dubbed the Mum Sword.
Yeah. And you were peripheral to the siege of the capital of the region you came to.
Yeah.
You had to help the two master smiths in that city escape.
Yeah.
And that was what we did
we made our way up into the mountains to the west of Tirenia.
There were a lot of revelations that happened in that
Lots
episode.
of revelations happened.
You found out what Valentino's secret was that he'd been keeping this whole time.
Valentino knocked up a dragon.
A very minor good dragon.
Oh, good-ish.
Good-ish. Sort of the lower end of good.
Yeah. The lower end of dragon.
You found out a bit more of the puzzle of what's going on between your your father figure, your bodyguard, Ruslan, and the mum sword.
Yeah.
So you found out that he was Laurentio, her lover from the past. So what's up with that? They're still being super cagey, not telling you anything about
what's actually going on.
What you do know is that it's definitely got something to do with the city of Chimeopoli and the Black Dragons.
Nobody wants me to go there.
Nobody wants you to go and engage with the Black Dragons because they are
in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, that's totally where the finale is happening, and it's probably happening in 2 weeks' time. Yeah. So yeah, don't mess with the mob, but you're probably going to mess with the mob.
Underground city of the gnomes.
Yes, which I always wanted to go to, because ever since James told me that they totally made a set underground city, my head has just been spinning off for like literally 5 years. I've been imagining this.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, you came up with this like 2014, 2015.
I'm not sure the gnomes have been around that long.
But, no, but like you came up with the White Dragon stuff pretty early on.
I think I got the basics of like the gnomes live up in the north of the White Dragon.
And I just immediately, because the gnomes are sort of based on the Swiss, so I immediately thought of this basically like Willy Wonka factory world where everything's clockwork and intricate and automated and sort of like imagine that the whole city is it's a small world after all. The city.
Hey, racist.
Racist? Why is that racist?
Gnomes, small world.
Oh! I did not. I literally did not mean that as a racial thing against gnomes.
Racist.
I know, right?
So we discovered the gnome secret conspiracy city, which, I mean, wow, that's.
And they hooked you up with humanist contacts, so you are now on the inside. You are, or like peripheral to it. Yeah. Whereas beforehand, it wasn't really.
Yeah.
No one was sharing humanist intel with you. Now you've got an in. You've got a list of which Smiths are not a physical list, but a mental list of you can trust these Smiths.
And probably the biggest thing of all is that my cat companion Leona turned into a bone and a kitten.
Yeah, like an ancient thigh bone. Presumably a saint's relic of some sort.
And a couple of months old kitten.
Small copper kitten. Yeah. And where we left off, you finished your apprenticeship with the master. You've got his signature. You've got Stella Rose's signature. Yep, he's helped you with clockworking.
She's helped me with tinting of metal.
Cool. So you've got 3.
And I've got the engraving from Falsina already. So that's 3.
3 out of the 7 that you need to get your journeyman pass.
And we are on our way now to Mataro
to take part in the wedding of Valentino.
Yeah.
And you know that the Smiths here, the Master Smith here is a humanist.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little connection that you can knock off while you're here. So before we get into it, I will give you your horoscope for this session.
It's been so long I'd actually forgotten that we did horoscopes. Yeah. You mentioned it.
Well, because he's a Zodiac Sorcerer, which is a special build that James came up with for the Dragons of Tirenia setting. Look out for the books when they eventually get kickstarted.
Oh yeah, bonus plug. I crossed 80,000 words.
Woo!
Woo! And I am currently struggling to find time to write. But when I do find time to write, it's ticking along nicely.
Such is life with a toddler.
Such is life.
All right. Your horoscope. Right. Sorrelina, the little sister moon, is in Hydra, which is your 13th house.
Right.
Destiny and origin will align and be revealed.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Dun, dun. Sorrelona, the big sister, in Eton, your 6th house. Tradition is observed, the greater good is served.
That sounds like it's wedding related to me.
And Sorella and Ziana, the old sister, is in Lamia, your 4th house. A dark secret is finally revealed.
Oh, that sounds like it ties into that first one.
Yeah, like I couldn't help it. The stars were pointing. The completely imaginary and randomly rolled with a D13, which doesn't even exist. I just rolled it on the internet.
Yeah.
Completely imaginary stars.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I will put some thingy bob free music in the, and I'll turn it down to the correct
let's see.
thing.
So I've got, now looking at my character sheets, I've got Ambrogio, I don't have Leona, I don't have Valentino, and is Ruslan even called Ruslan? And can I even trust him?
Identity crisis.
No,
the game.
We had the sort of the can I even trust you, but I think since then we've had enough time that we can get back to sort of,
yeah, totally. Yeah, okay,
sort of back to normal at least.
Turn this right down. It's been a few weeks, and slightly lonely journey at times, as at first you and Rosalind weren't really talking.
Yeah.
But it's also been a long journey, for about 3 or 4 weeks to get down to Matauro. So once you split from your gnomish guides who led you out of the mountains, a safe road to travel south on, you started to open up to each other again, and you have a friendly-ish. It's not completely healed, but you know that you can trust him to look after you, even if you can't trust him to tell you the truth 100% of the time. So that's sort of where you stand. Poor little Leona is a kitten and has spent most of her time nestled in Ruslan's beard at various points of time. You're both very protective of her, and
and the bone.
And the bone, which I think, what do you do to protect the bone?
I think we'd have to have it in a box or something.
I think the gnomes would provide you with a suitably...
So basically a reliquary.
It would have to be not too ornate in case it gets, searched or mugged or anything. So how would you hide it in a suitably understated way? What wouldn't people want to steal? Maybe it's hidden in like a book or something. Oh no, books are valuable.
Books are super valuable.
Something to think about anyway. Maybe they like bulk up your scabbard or something.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's like an extra sword or something.
Yeah.
Or like a trick scabbard.
Yeah, trick scabbard for like a sort of dagger length thing. Oh, Thighbone's pretty long.
See, I was thinking scabbard, I'm thinking of actually of Geralt from The Witcher.
Oh, okay. What's he got?
Because he's got the 2 swords slung across his back.
Oh, so you've got a back scabbard, secret. So
I'm saying, what if like Ruslan has got 2 back scabbards, and he's like, this is my sword. Don't make me draw the other one.
Yeah.
And the trick is he can't.
Having a 2-handed sword, he probably would have a back scabbard anyway, wouldn't he?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be pretty like you just slide it out there, and you got kind of like.
Do. How do people even carry 2-handed swords?
Great difficulty.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the idea with a 2-handed sword is it's not something you just walk around with. You only tend to carry it if you're going somewhere to use it.
Except if you're in a fantasy game.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yes, he has a trick scabbard which has the bone in it. Yeah, I guess on your back. Anyway.
It just seems really like... Yeah.
Yeah. I know. One thing that does happen.
Oh, it's a back strap for 2-handed.
That makes sense. So one thing that does happen that he actually does say to you, even though you guys, one, you're not, 100% back to normal with each other, and 2, you're guys. So one thing that does actually get said is, he says to you, I definitely remember a copper cat with, like, a haggard old man on the beach of Monte Mameliano. But not a kitten.
A cat?
I remember a cat, but not a kitten.
Oh, where there's...
This could be its child, maybe?
Where there's kittens, there's cats.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that'll be a mystery for us to uncover when we
What do you remember about him?
he was the one who presumably revived me in this new body.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
he used to be a Dragonborn?
No, he was just a normal human dragon paladin.
Right, that's right, yes.
He was a black dragon paladin. He was an enforcer for the black dragons.
Yeah, that's right. And he actually died and then came back in a completely different body.
Yeah. That's why all the dwarves instinctively know that he's not a real dwarf. Because he's not.
Yeah.
He has not grown up with the struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that struggle is no longer maybe such a thing since we've changed the origin story for dwarves a bit. But even so, there'll be all those sort of cultural mannerisms and behaviours.
And he just doesn't quite have them. And so he has to put up with...
that spell now feels awful when you put it like that.
Yeah. So when he woke up, he was pretty dazed still. He just drowned and then came back to life magically in a new body, which he wasn't used to at all. Very disoriented. You were completely okay, little baby. You hadn't died at all. And the old haggard guy and just brown robes was...
I'm sorry, I just had another,
Harry Potter?
No. Kitten attack! Kitten attack! Yeah. We've been watching a song
called Chicken Attack.
Chicken Attack.
It's funny, look it up.
Yeah.
So he was holding you.
Oh, there's a kitten attack.
Oh, come to the camera, Nim. He was holding you, cradling you, and you weren't crying, you were happy, you were even giggling. And I was there not on the sand, but sort of just up in the dunes.
Yeah.
I remember the massive cliffs overhanging us of the island, and what I remember next is that I think he pretty much just arranged to put us on a boat immediately and get us back to land. He got us to Fiumense, and by the time that we were there, I was recovered enough, and he'd given us some a small amount of money. And I don't really see why she would object to me telling you this. The reason why I went to Giorgio Donaldo was because I knew that he owed debts to the Black Dragons. I gave him some information so that he could resolve that and get completely out of his obligations to the Black Dragons, and in exchange, he took us both in. That's why we ended up with Giorgio. It wasn't just that, thanks.
Yeah, turn that down a bit more.
It wasn't just that he was kind. Yes, he was kind, but he got something out of it too, which was a way to get the wolf away from the door.
Right. What did he owe them?
Debts. I think he was a little bit more reckless in his youth than he let on to you and Valentino.
I guess it doesn't matter now anyway, now that he's dead.
No. It might have been... to be honest, I didn't pry. He possibly borrowed money because of business, gambling, could have been whores. I didn't pry. All I knew was that he was on the books. I'd actually gone and threatened him in my former life. So that's how I knew who he was.
I think Ambrogio starts thinking suddenly about Chimeopoli is there, sort of in the center tending to the east, and Midlano and Venora are quite
far away.
Quite far away. That means that this is a crime syndicate that's got reach.
Yeah.
Serious reach.
And it could have been bad luck.
Yeah.
That Giorgio
maybe
fell
he was
into their
living
traps,
somewhere else at the time.
Or it could have been he might have been visiting or something.
Or it implies that there's a crime syndicate that has a far greater reach than anybody anticipated.
I'm sure if you look into that more, you could find out what the answer is.
Yes.
Cool. All right. With no real interruptions. The roads are actually quite protected at the moment because there has been military unrest.
Yeah.
So people are making sure that merchants can get through.
Is it now winter or are we into spring?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Now?
Where were we before? No, we were in autumn. And
we were in autumn and we were trying to...
How long did you wouldn't have spent very long because, of course, you
either we have to leave before winter or we have to wait until after winter's over.
So it is like late autumn, early winter now.
Okay, so we left just before the passes closed up. Yeah.
But you notice that especially between like Medilano and not Vansenia, what's it called now? Is it
Selenizia.
Selenizia. You notice that even in the smaller villages and stuff, there are a lot of guards.
Yeah.
And they are pretty much just making sure that the merchants can get through without being attacked by brigands on the road. You can actually you could even pretty much keep walking at night if you really felt like it, because like you wouldn't go very far and not be able to see like a guard post with torches and stuff. Like they're keeping the roads safe.
Bandits wouldn't want to be in this sort of an area.
And business must continue.
Yeah.
And people are on the lookout for invading bronze or red armies. So, very tense time, but you don't strike people as like spies for either side.
We've clearly got the passports. We're just passing through. Yeah.
So, and like out of all of the stereotypes people have about dwarves, spies is not a great one of them.
No.
So that's completely believable.
Yeah.
So you make it to Matauro, skirting around Perusi. And you are welcomed quite sheepishly.
So what's Matauro like?
Matauro is definitely on the smaller side.
Yeah.
It's even perhaps...
Oh, actually, I just wrote up some stuff about Matauro.
Okay, maybe you can tell me more,
Yeah, so it's in the foothills, and it's quite a small place, but it's situated on the banks of the river Matauro, which is where it gets its name from. Because, like in real life, people can be pretty lazy with their naming. And the city is currently being like renovated, so the walls are new and the palace is new and the cathedral I think is under construction. And like there's a lot of the Iron Dragons have been turning into like the little model city.
Yeah,
the land around was quite wooded.
I imagine it maybe the architecture is a little bit more severe than like Medilano.
No, Medilano.
But even like Fiumense, where people are a bit more free and I was going to say artistic, but I feel like that's Medilano. I feel like it's like...
Actually, Matauro is quite artistic too.
Okay.
It's very much like a, look at me, I've got culture.
Okay.
I am a cultured person of culture who likes culture and science and engineering.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a serious prince. You should take me seriously.
Yeah, they want to be taken seriously. Definitely, that's something that I've...
So I think, like, the Silvers are very, like, this is artistic architecture. We want it to be beautiful. And the Blues are very, like, this just sort of happened this way. There was no town planning involved.
Yeah.
This is like, we are going to make a nice city, and it's all going to be very nice.
Very ordered.
Very structured, very, like, modern.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Matauro has the biggest library in all of Tirenia, apart from the church library.
What is it, like 10 books?
Maybe as many as 1,000.
Wow.
Which, like, that's a lot of books all the time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The the villa of the
and it's on a little hill, top of a hill. The area around is forested, and the river sort of wraps around the outside of it. But then there's more hills off the way leading up into the mountains.
The villa of the Ferrissimo family is up in the rich dragon part of town, the highest sort of places, very spacious villas. Not quite McMansion-y, but definitely
tending that way.
Tending to be ornate and adding on more and more extensions for grandiosity's sake.
Come back.
I'm sure she'll come back. She loves to walk on keyboards. So
that's what she's finding to.
She's being a spaz.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a slur. I should not say that.
She's being a silly cat.
She is being a very silly cat.
Which is a slur against silly cats, but it's acceptable.
She's a smat. Small mock cat.
Ah, gotcha.
Oh god, and she's kicking all your character sheets. Ah!
Hey, Nub.
She's gonna scratch you up.
She is.
Take 1d4 damage. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, Valentino is looking sort of sheepish as he welcomes you and is beside Joya Renata, his fiancée, who is standing there. She's dressed all in dark grey. And has these very sharp dark grey eyes, and her hair is so dark it's almost black, but it's definitely got this sheen to it that's a bit silvery, and it's very, very demurely bound up in an intricate sort of plait thing around the back. But what she's, even though it's all very dark, it's very elegant and lacy, and she comes across as very formal.
Right.
As she greets you. And is hurried away by attendants.
Yeah.
Leaving you and Valentino. Caius isn't there. But you... I'll
embrace Valentino once
Yeah. It's like the servants expect, it's almost like Joya wanted to hang around, but her attendants are she won't want to waste time on humans, so they just hurry her off, leaving you alone with Valentino.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's see, what joke will we start off with? So, one day all this will be yours, huh?
Not quite, but, well, I will be treated very well and recompensed very well. He looks quite grim as he says this.
Don't worry, it's only for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Look, I've just got to go to, well, you will probably want to come. I've got to go down to the Master Smith and pick up my wedding outfit.
From the Smith?
Yeah, they have this whole thing about people being in their military best when they get married. So I'm getting married in full plate armor. Fun times.
That's...
Oh, and it's super ornate, and you wouldn't wear it on a battlefield, because what's the point in that? Yeah, basically they want me in dress uniform.
That's an impressive wedding present, though.
I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool, but it's functionally useless.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go get it, and there'll be two birds with one stone, because I'm sure you want to hook up with the Master Smith.
Yeah. Yes.
So, how was the girl? Tell me, what?
Well, we share everything.
Yeah. he's probably pretty impressed with the armor that you've been sent with for him.
Oh, yeah. We've got the breastplate for him.
And I guess you hold back the wedding presents for now.
And then also, I'll ask him what he sees in her. Like, how did they meet? What's the story?
What tone of voice do you use when you say that? Like,
I think it's slightly teasing and incredulous. Like,
okay, if it's
what did you see? What did you see in her?
He goes fully defensive and slightly angry, and is like, "Bro, she's a dragon. Like, what? You couldn't get a dragon?" Yeah. So basically, like he insults you and is angry and defensive.
Yeah.
Roll your insight.
Sure.
Okay.
19.
Okay. So you can see this truth. He's actually kind of sweet on her.
Oh.
And pissed off that you don't immediately like her and are fawning over her.
I didn't really get much of a chance.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
That's weird. Watch going off.
Yeah, why is my alarm going off?
He seems to actually, now that you're here in her presence, he actually seems to be into her.
Huh. Okay.
Despite having run from her for months.
Yeah.
Well, won't be months and months. Actually, yeah. That dress would have been a little bit fuller.
Oh.
Yeah, it would have, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So. To the smith?
Yep, to the smith.
Cool. Do you say anything more about her as you go along, or like what sort of direction do you take the conversation in?
Oh, I think we're going to keep it at, like, once I realise that he's actually really into her, I think we'll back off from, like, wow, she's scary and uptight.
Maybe start teasing him about being into her.
Yeah.
like teasing him about the fact that he's got
actually,
feelings.
Hey, you actually like her. Oh.
And then, when it turns to joshing, then, it's better now.
Yeah. And now it's teasing him rather than her.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. Totally. Cool, all right. You get to the smiths.
Oh, and the other thing actually we'll have to fill him in on.
Oh, is Leona.
Here's Leona, by the way. Here's our sister.
Yeah. He has this moment where he's like, so, where's Leona? Did she stay with the girl or something?
Funny story.
And then. The little kitten face pops out of Ruslan's beard.
So there she is.
And you explain to him the whole thing that happened, and he is just like gobsmacked.
Turns out she was a kitten and a bone the whole time.
He's actually a little bit upset. And he's like, Joya was really looking forward to meeting Leona. And now, well, actually, I guess she still can. Do you want to, like, leave her here in safekeeping while we go?
That might be a good idea.
Yeah. And so...
She won't eat her, will she?
And he just, like, rolls his eyes at you and, like, probably pulls the finger at you and just completely ignores.
Does he bite his thumb at me?
Yeah, he bites his thumb at you. Like, dude,
do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
What an immature thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, come on. So, like, 10 minutes later, he comes back and he's like, like, Leona will be way more cared for than your smelly beard, Ruslan. Like, she's lapping at a bowl of milk and, do you want to put the Saint's Bone into safekeeping, or are you guys happy to just...
Let's hang on to that one.
Sure. But you've told Valentino about it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And he is like, as you guys walk to the Mastersmith, he's like expounding theories like he's asking Ruslan more questions about like the copper cat and the old guy who brought him back to life and stuff.
And I'll also tell him that this guy used to be a human.
Yeah. I think he was still in the party when that happened.
Was he still in the party at the point? I don't remember.
I forget, but
anyway, yes.
Either way, he's now caught up on everything that happened.
Yeah.
And utterly jealous that he didn't get to see Zagura and all its wonders. But super keen. He's super, super keen.
Yeah.
Okay, here's something new. When you mention, I assume you're going to mention the fact that the Smith is humanist and that you've got like a mental list of which Smiths are humanists. He is super keen on that, but he also is like, bro, don't bring a word of this to Joya or Caius. Do not utter a single word.
Why are you keen on this? Yeah, you're marrying a dragon. I would have thought getting rid of dragons wouldn't be something you'd be into.
Well, I don't want them to all die, but like balancing the power a little bit would be better.
I see, right.
Also comes from
and I make an obscene gesture.
Wow.
Teenage boy, right?
Yeah.
Teenage boy.
He nudges you super hard in the ribs.
Yeah.
But seriously, and he's like, but seriously, like, of course, like his family were like ancestrally, his family were nobles, and after the dragons came in, they were just basically just common with money, and then they lost most of the money over his father's lifetime for one reason or another, and there was probably more losses before his father's lifetime, but he doesn't know all the details. So, like, he'd like some power back, thank you. He sort of feels like it's his birthright. He's maybe a little bit entitled, but, like, so he has some, like, less than stellar reasons for wanting the humanists. People have their reasons.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, anyway. So, I'll just turn that down. It's really loud.
It is really loud. What have you chosen this time?
This is the same one I always play.
Right. Seems louder this time.
So you get to the Master Smithy.
Yeah.
To see a Toro Kefalo man.
Ah, this is our first Toro Kefalo.
Is it really?
We're getting a lot of first animal person.
A Minotaur, a bull-headed man.
Yeah.
Leaning like this on his sort of workbench, looking super down.
Scusi, are you Messer?
Valerio, his name is Valerio de Fiumenti.
Scusi, are you Messer Valentino de
Valerio
de Fiumenti?
Yep, that's me. How can I? You have the look of Smiths to you, and you are the new soon-to-be Ferissimo. Yes, you're here for your bridal wear, groomal wear. Let me just go and get that. And he warily gets up and brings it out. He wheels it out on a mannequin, not like a fashion mannequin, but like a wooden frame mannequin. And let's try it on for size and see if I need to ding anything out for you. Please.
Great. Yeah, I'll assist him.
My lord.
Yeah. And I'll do up the straps and tighten things. Yeah.
He's sort of looking at you and Ruslan carefully. He seems to be sort of
taking measure of us.
Taking measure, like looking at sort of the signs of smithing that he can see.
Yeah.
After he said that thing about you look of smiths to you, and he says to you, "Hey, boy, are you on your apprenticeship?" You look about the right age.
I am.
Huh.
We have our scrolls just here, and I'll stop what I'm doing and go through my bag and find my
poor Leona's
scroll.
going to fall behind on her, on her apprenticeship. Oh.
Yeah, she's not going to graduate.
Oh.
Unless we bring along a kitten and just sort of get the cat and just
knowing her, she would still ace it, because like everything she's done so far, she's Santiago of
she is. I was just thinking that one.
Yeah. I hope you don't mind me. I hope this isn't too presumptuous. say, my lord, but well, there's still a few days before your wedding, and I was wondering if I could ask a favor of you all.
If I'm to be your apprentice, then I'll do whatever you say, of course.
Sure, but this is a big favor. I would like to help the smith from Perusi, who has been detained by the authorities there.
Wow.
I would like him to be extracted from Perusi. And mentally you realise they're both humanists.
Yeah.
So it could have something to do with that. You should totally have, like, the gnomes must have given you like a password or like a phrase or some passphrase or something.
I doubt there is one, actually, just because there's so many of them.
True.
Like, it's not that sort of an organization.
True. Would you be up for the challenge?
Look at Valentino.
He's dead keen to kick some butt right now.
And isn't there a custom that the groom should have one last wild adventure before her marriage?
And Valentino's just like, if he had like a glass in his hand right now, he'd crush it. He's just like so psyched. Like, yes. He's been way too domesticated for the last couple of months, and that he wants to go out and smash something. And
well, just a couple of lads on the road, eh?
Yes. We'll do it. And then as Rosalind sort of worriedly goes, well, won't your bride-to-be be worried about?
Oh, no.
And Valentino just, like, grabs a hammer and just, like, dents a part of his ceremonial armor and is like, oh, no, I guess you'll have to have some time to fix that. And we'll have to do you a favor for the damage that we accidentally did in your shop. So I'll just tell Caius and Joya that that's what's happening.
Wow.
He's desperate for this.
I hope that wasn't like still attached to him when he did.
No. It's part that you guys hadn't yet put on.
Right, yeah, there are a few like that, yeah.
Yeah, and Valerio looks a little bit like the whole like train of emotions go over his face of like, what the hell? But also like
relief,
but also like, who cares? Like, just and it ends with just apathy. Like, yep, all right. Do you have any questions for Valerio?
I do. So, tell us everything. Who is this humanist? Sorry, who is the smith that? Who is the smith that we?
Okay.
What is the nature of the entanglement that he's in? Do you know where he's being held?
I think I can tell you now. Now that you know. Now that I know that you know that I know that you know. Stefano is a little bit of a loudmouth sometimes. And he maybe got a little bit uppity against one of the orange dragons, and they have pulled him in, so far as I have heard from my contacts, they've pulled him in on suspicion of being a seditionist.
I see.
I don't think they have any hard evidence, but again, he's a loudmouth, he's not the most tactful, he's a bit reckless, he might spill something. Now, obviously, that would endanger more people's lives than just his, but I don't really care about that. I just want him here the world should not lose his special abilities. He is an expert in discerning enchantments on weapons.
Surely he's too valuable for the dragons to lose in this way, then.
Quite possibly, yes, although they obviously, a lot of them have their own magics, so some of them might have the ability to do what he does, but in terms of just humans like us, he can obviously teach some of his skills to, apprentices like yourselves.
But economically, he's
yeah. But we just need him extracted.
Do you know where he would be held in Perusi?
He gives you a map of sort of city watch places. Because it's it's a town full of mercenaries, they are actually able to recruit a bit of a watch, and they have at the sort of four corners of the town they have small jails. There is, of course, like the central sort of
main jail.
He could
Palace
be there.
jail.
The palazzo, he could be there. Although I don't know if he would be there, because I don't know, you might feel differently about the orange dragons. They're a little bit disorganized.
Right.
And so there's not just one big leader. And so if he is in any one of the, you know what, I'm going to say there's three families sort of vying for top position. And it's a very balanced political game that they're playing. They're constantly one-upping each other, but then, the next thing you know, the next one's on top the following week. It's more likely that he is in one of the outer jails, because if any one of them had him in like the basement of their private palazzo, they would have a massive advantage over the others.
Okay.
But he doesn't know which jail it would be, so you're going to have to go and find more information from people in the city.
And would you like us to bribe his way out, or
that would be a clever way to do it. That would certainly keep things quiet. If you have other quiet ways of extracting him too, that would be good. You're probably not enough people to fight your way out, and we probably don't want to make a big fuss. So, the more secretive you can be, the better.
Really, you want me to?
Okay, this isn't a very long session. So do you want more?
Didn't realise I was that tired.
Do you want more non-sponsored caffeinated beverage?
Not right now, but maybe.
All right.
All right. When should we leave?
Now, says Valentino. I'll just go explain where I am.
Right. I trust you can get us horses?
Yep. Done.
Oh, here's another question.
Yeah.
Stefano, what does Stefano look like?
He describes to you a demon-touched man.
Oh.
With billy horns.
Oh, little bitty horns.
Yeah. And a goatee. I don't think his skin is red, though.
Well, I think I would recoil and make the sign of the flames at that, because
and Valerio looks exhausted by your reaction, but doesn't say any more. He's just grateful that you're doing the...
Well, I said I'll do it, but, like, is this going to put my immortal soul in peril?
Okay, he does notice. Roslyn later on when you're leaving, like nudges you and is like, hey, you know better than that.
Actually, I don't know if I do know better than that, so let's just do a roll to see if I do know better than that.
Yeah.
Because, like, am I just superstitious? I don't have a great int.
Sure, just, check it out. Roll.
Arcana, I guess. Oh, well, Ruslan rolls a 20. So Ruslan can be like, here is the actual science.
Also, Ruslan being someone who was
had
changed
weird
into a different
race.
He himself is like, they're not actually demonic, right? So like he schools your racism.
I mean, they can be, but they don't.
Yeah, sure. But he schools you on your racism. Anyway, that's sort of casting forward into the future. Do you say anything more to Valerio before you go?
Not right now, because I said I'd do it, so I'll do it.
Cool.
My immortal soul.
Sure. Okay. Well, you don't witness how Valentino says goodbye to Joya.
Yeah.
But he requisitions 4 horses. He gets an extra one first, if I know. And provisions for the short journey and a purse. A purse that will be useful for bribing and anything else you might need.
Brilliant.
Yep. And I don't think there was anything else you needed.
I don't think so.
Are you taking the bone with you?
Yeah, we'd better take the bone with us. Just don't want to leave it behind.
But leaving Leona?
Yeah.
She, if you ask, Valentino says she's perfectly happy with Joya right now.
Actually, let's leave the bone.
Leave the bone. Okay.
Leave the bone. I'm sure we can leave it in Valentino's room somewhere really secure where it won't be disturbed.
Okay.
Like he'll have a chest or something we can lock it in.
Can you roll for Valentino, please?
Yeah.
Insight.
How's all this stuff getting gone through and he doesn't realise it? 14.
He's a little bit like, I'm not sure that people aren't going through my stuff.
Oh, jeez.
So,
okay, let's take it with us.
We could take it with us. We could tell Joya. I don't think she would, like... I've explained to her what's up with Leona. I didn't mention the bone, but I could explain it to her. I do trust her. I don't think she would give it to Caius. And I don't think people go through her stuff, so...
That'd be pretty rude if they did.
Yeah.
She's a dragon. She could eat them.
I know, I know it's a saint's bone. She's actually sort of weirdly religious for a dragon. So I think she would respect it if you wanted to leave it with her. Then again, if we want to take it with us, that's also fine. Yeah, why do you think a dragon is bothering to get married to a human just because they got her knocked up? Again, weirdly religious.
I thought it was just your manly charms.
No, her family's just... It's the Iron Dragons, man. They're, like, weirdly proper about everything.
Huh.
Yeah, they're really uptight. I'm going to take every opportunity I can to get out of here. So hurry up and decide. Do we leave the bone or do we take it?
Let's take it with us.
Sure. Okay. You head out. How far do you think Perusi is from Mataro? Half a day's ride?
It's not that far. I remember it's not that far.
Cool.
I think that's the sort of thing of like, it's a day's ride, but you can leave late in the day and you'll arrive early. You know? Yeah.
Cool. Sure, well, I guess you overnight at a small village in between and you make it there.
Yeah, they're fairly close by.
Yeah. Valentino is sort of like doing the calculations and he's like, it's, 2 days before the wedding, so let's hurry up and get this wrapped up.
And if we push the horses, like if we're riding out in a hurry, we can probably get back sort of like that night. Later that night. Sure. So, yeah. Perusi is a coastal city, fishing town. Okay, Lots of boats going out, and
And I think in the center of it, you could see the 3 palazzos sort of staring each other down.
I don't remember whether it's on the same river as Mataro, or I think it might be a different one, but
you wouldn't really want to be downriver of another city.
Not particularly. Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
Especially your enemy city. That could go really wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, I suppose then it wouldn't really be the four corners, would it? It would be like, should we say it's like that shape?
Yeah.
C.
I don't really remember. I just remember that I haven't done that much of writing about Perusi, and Mataro only wrote a very quick thing the other day.
Well, okay, I'll show that audience what we've done.
Yeah.
So,
let's just go with that and say that all of these details may be different when we finally get the campaign book done.
So that wavy line is the water, and the city is like a diamond jutting into the water. In fact, we'll say this time, maybe there's like a keep out here.
Oh yeah.
Out in the waves.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah.
I think the river comes in like that. And so there's one bit that's on the...
Yeah.
So there's like the majority of it, I think, is on the west side of the river. And then I think there's just a little bit that's over the other side.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Cool. So like a sort of diamond-shaped city.
Yeah.
And then the three palaces in the middle. And then... the fishermen would sort of all be on the seafront and riverfront parts. Sailors and stuff would live there, and more sort of mercenary types here, and maybe some government administration buildings here.
Yeah,
anyway.
and obviously the towers are the roads.
Yeah. And actually, there would, by whatever road, say the major road is here, and market type place in the middle. Cool. Okay.
Nice quick map. I like it.
Well
done.
You arrive.
Yeah.
What do you do when you arrive? You're outside.
Well, what time of day is it when we arrive?
It would be early morning.
Early morning. Cool.
You've overnighted in the village.
So that
actually,
we arrive first.
If you want to, you can sort of gather intelligence at the inn at that village if you want it. Or if it's not an inn, it could just be staying in a farmer's barn overnight.
Actually, I think that's probably a good idea. Yep. Whether it's an inn or a barn or whatever. I think we'll just, with the meal, just say that we're travelling to Perusi. And actually, probably the best cover is to pretend to be what we are. Smiths. We're Smiths on our apprenticeship, travelling to Perusi, and we're just wondering, like, what's going on? Is there any news from the city?
Okay.
So we're not specifically asking, like, have you heard what's happened?
Yeah, no.
It's just like, sure. We are Smiths. What's the news?
Okay. Oh, the oranges are gearing up to... any day now they expect the contracts to come in from the reds. To be asked to fight with them against the bronzes. They expect it to happen any day now, so companies are gearing up, training is intensified. The city is all a bustle with preparations for the war that they expect to happen.
Well then, surely the Irons will be offering their services to the Bronze.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They'll have a harder time getting there past the oranges all the way up there. And whether Falsina gets in the way with them being yellows, they might. But then again, the bronzes might sweep down and take them while they're weak. I mean, whoever takes Falsina next, we're next after them. So
yeah.
I hope that whatever happened in Venora doesn't happen to us.
I think we try not to react too much,
right.
And probably fail.
They notice, but don't ask.
Yeah, and hey, it was whatever the story they've heard down here, it's not a nice one. So.
And but it would have been passed through many. It's not spoilers; it happened already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever their reaction, like us being like, oh, the town where everybody vanished, the town where everybody died, the town where everybody got turned into unhallowed, the worst sort of thing ever. Yeah, whatever story they've heard, us having a bad reaction to it is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, you don't want to be a secluded and rural town that gets somehow utilized in a war.
Yeah.
Because atrocities will be committed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, the default one is just people come in and seize accommodation and seize supplies and mistreat stuff and smash stuff up. And
you've got ginger hair, right? Your character?
Yes.
Ginger.
Yeah.
The spouse of the farmer, when serving you dinner, looks at you and goes, "You said you were going to Perusi, right?"
Yes.
You might want to wear a hat, and she sort of scrounges around.
Is it very sunny?
Your hair color is orange.
Yes.
And the orange dragons love to collect orange things.
Oh.
So you would be like, well, unless you want this, you'd be kept like a pet.
I never thought of that.
As a sort of rarity of the human species. So yeah, you might want to have this old hat, and she gives you this old, like, woolen beanie hat of her husband's.
Grazie.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just, be careful not to reveal yourself.
I'll pull on the woolen hat.
And hey, maybe it was a good idea that you didn't bring the copper cat with you.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to write on my equipment sheet, a woolen hat. There we go, woolen hat added.
It's
bonus.
Maybe got a couple of holes in it. She might snatch it back and just darn those up real quick to make sure.
There's no like orange hair sticking through.
So it's lucky that she remembered to tell you that before you went stumbling in. And one more roll. Oh, they do. This is a very knowledgeable couple.
Well, actually, that's something that's been striking me. So my current audiobook's medieval based. And everybody has a pretty good working knowledge of the political scene. Yeah. And I actually I quite like it. I like the sort of idea of like, people are like, oh yeah, we just, the normal people living in this place, know who the important people are. We know how they're all related to each other, what's going on. It's like, yeah, they don't get the newspaper, but they're all kind of informed. And it feels more human than the sort of like, oh, they're all idiots because they're in the past.
Yeah, totally.
Like, yeah, people are curious and they talk to each other and they get news from travelers and they're just sort of generally informed. Well,
you've been extremely lucky with these roles because they have got every single piece of gossip and also the analysis behind the gossip in the 5 roles that I've done. So the farmer sits back, puffs on his pipe. You said you were
his
smiths.
Bubble pipe.
Yeah, his bubble pipe. You said you were smiths.
I
just remembered when I was in market last. The master smith's been arrested.
Arrested?
You weren't going to meet him, were you? I assume, given your apprentice smiths, you were. You probably want to turn around.
For what cause?
Rabble rousing.
Rabble rousing?
I wasn't there at the time, but I had some friends in the market who saw it all, and he was having. It sort of started. He was trading with someone, getting stuff for charcoal and whatever, at the market, and they were having an argument, and I think that the charcoal salesman was sort of going, I'll report you to the dragons, and he was going, he went off the wall, and damn dragons, and they don't have the power over me, and let's throw them down, and arrested. It's dangerous words, but I mean, obviously we all think them, but you don't say them, so silly of them to do, but yeah.
But then, why arrest him? If they arrested everyone who's cursed their name in a heated moment, then there'd be no one left outside the jails.
This is not the first incident. This guy is well known for rabble rousing and talking. I think it's a case of bad timing, because they obviously are gearing up for going out to battle. They want him to be obviously, leading the production of new weaponry and everything, and here he is causing problems. So I think they've installed, his next down expert as
he must truly be a troublemaker if he's been stripped of his rank. So
well, I mean,
a man with such economic influence.
I think now that you say that, it makes sense that they might still be using him to produce, but in a controlled place.
That's actually the plot of my audiobook.
Oh, okay.
The Leather Worker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
It's really good. You need to read those at some point.
Possibly he's in one of the city guard sort of complexes, barracks, and they'll have their own smithies and fletchers and everything. So
you say his apprentice has been installed as his replacement.
Oh, does he know anything about this guy? No.
For once.
For once, he does not know this.
For once, he doesn't know. Well,
I don't know if it was his direct apprentice or a rival or whatever, but yes.
Perhaps we can apprentice ourselves to them, and
maybe.
With the war mounting up, they'll sure be glad of extra hands.
Certainly. I just, I suppose it will still count with your apprenticeship and everything. I don't know how all that works really, but yeah. Well, I'm driving down to market early tomorrow. If you want to ride with me.
Oh, thank you.
It might be a bit slow, but market's the first thing you hit once you enter the town. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, we can help you if there's any chores you still need doing before then.
Yeah.
It'd just be a standard thing that you'd do if you were staying the night at a farm.
Yeah, and I think they might get you to chop up some firewood.
Yeah, exactly. Helping with that sort of thing. Bring in the animals and what have you.
Load up the cart tomorrow.
Yeah, you'd help out with the chores as part of the condition of staying.
Have you got any more questions for him? Or
no, I don't think so.
Okay, well, you have a pleasant night.
Sort of invested about this farmer now. This is very knowledgeable.
We need to give him a name. I'll go find my...
Yeah, we need a name and we need a personality for the family. Who are they?
Okay, he's Agapito.
Agapito.
And his wife is Marinella.
Agapito and Marinella.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I guess Di Perusi.
Yeah. They probably don't even have surnames.
Yeah. Well, if they went out of Perusi, they would be
Perusis.
Perusis, yeah. So... And
what, like human?
You know what?
Capricephaly?
No, I was going to say Kynocephaly.
Oh, right, yeah.
Border Collie Kynocephaly!
Oh, he has his own sheepdog.
Yeah, he's a shepherd.
Yeah, he has his own sheepdog.
And she's like a, I don't know what they're called, but the sort of like russety. Actually, yeah, she should never go near Perusi. So she's like a russet-coloured collie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I really like them now.
Yeah.
cancel the rest of the campaign. I want to know what
I
happens.
know, right?
So,
well,
just
maybe
like
we can do
them on their farm,
the continued life,
smoking their pipes and knitting woolen hats for each other, and
I think they're young, and yes, Marinella is pregnant.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll congratulate her and ask her when she's due.
She's definitely not as far along as Joya.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. So they got married. They got married a couple of years ago, but this is going to be their first child / litter. I don't know how kind of careful I give birth, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is a young.
I agree. Couple. Oh, super cute.
Yeah.
Baby, that is a puppy. Like.
Oh.
Like little chubby but covered in fluff. And also, yeah, a clutter. Yeah, they will have a clutter.
Oh my gosh, I just realized Nim is down here just licking herself.
Oh, no.
Yeah. There we go. There's your people. They'll reoccur at some point, I guess.
Yeah. Bizarrely invested in them.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and so you do some chores for them, you have a decent sleep in the loft and everything, and
right.
Oh, is it a clutter of puppies? That's cute.
Or is it a clutter of baby puppy hybrids?
A clutter of kynocephalus.
Yeah. Oh, so actually, now I'll tell you the book that I didn't get you for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
That I saw, but you might be interested in.
Oh, a clutter of kittens.
There is a book of collective pronouns of New Zealand birds.
Oh, cool. I was going to say, because we've already got the collective collective noun book.
I told you there was a cute book. And yeah, it's got things of...
Yeah, I knew that puppies was litter, but I thought kittens were too, but I guess clutter of kittens.
Clutter of kittens, I like that.
Yeah, litter of pups. I don't know. If...
I mean, yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. An extinction of mowers. Ouch.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon, man.
Too soon.
I like a murder of crows.
I like a conspiracy of Kias.
Yeah. Extinction. Anyway, we are spending way too long on the details of this little farm.
No, we're not. That was exactly the right amount of time.
So he's heading down. He's got some plants, some produce to sell, and maybe a couple of older a stitching circle of hee-hoos. That's cute.
Nice.
It's really cute. Maybe a couple of older sheep to sell for mutton, and
maybe I should request that book for you from the library.
Yeah. Do. And you guys head down, and not as many sort of guards on the road down here. It's a bit further from all the businesses coming up north, but it's a very short ride, and you do not get approached by anyone because we've got the car and your 3 bodyguards apparently around this one little farmer, which is probably he's feeling a little bit like, look at me today.
But also imagine like there'll be tons of people coming in for the market. Because they only do the market once a week. So people from the area come in and they can't stop and question everyone. It'd be very like, okay, pay your silver coin or whatever.
Yeah, so actually going in with him and the other merchants and stuff and farmers and stuff, you wouldn't really get any questioning and stuff, and no one asks you to take off your hat, thankfully, and you just pay a little.
It'd probably be like a silver each or something.
And when you get in there, you sort of notice that, like, the guards, there's a sort of frisson in the air.
What are we doing with our horses, though, then?
Oh, there'll be, like, a stable, won't there?
But, like, if we ride in, then we're not going on with the cart.
That's a good question, actually. would you want to sacrifice the speed of escape for the subtlety of entering in this fashion?
Actually, yeah, I think we leave them at the farm because the farm's pretty close by.
What reason do you give for that? Because that's a bit.
Oh yeah,
that's a little bit suspicious. So, what do you want to say to Agapito and Marinella about that?
That is a bit suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will draw slightly more attention if you're coming in on horse. But then again, roll your insight.
No.
Oh, okay, so I can't give you that clue.
Nope.
Okay.
I think since we're hitting it off so well with Agapito and Marinella, I think we might tell them slightly more.
Okay,
so I think I say, actually, in sooth, we knew that the blacksmith had been arrested.
Aye.
And we have an ulterior motive in our travels. It's not just to achieve our apprenticeship criteria, but his friends have asked us if we can see to his release.
Very interesting.
And the horses are in case we need to make a swift getaway.
I sympathise.
But he doesn't want to get drawn in.
But you're going to have to give me a little bit more reason to risk myself, and if they come here to the farm, seeing these 4 horses from a distance, this is not the sort of farm that has 4 horses. So if anyone were to come and question, you're going to have to give me a little bit more incentive to hold on to your horses for a day or so.
Well,
ching, ching, ching,
yeah, there's 2 incentives I can think of. There's the idealistic one, and there's the ching ching one.
You can try the idealistic one first if you want. And you can roll it.
Well, do we have enough money to make it worth his time to look after the horses and potentially pay for the bail of Stefano?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
his needs won't take that much of a chink out of your thing.
Yeah.
Valentino came quite prepared.
Yeah, and to be fair, we could probably offer him like a florin or something.
Yeah. You don't have to offer him much.
Or like a florin per horse, which from his perspective is a lot. Remember that whole table we found where it's like,
totally.
He is only going to make us,
exactly,
a florin a week, or
he would never see this much money in one place at once. So
5 florins, 4 florins down payment.
Yep.
Actually, I think what we'll offer him is 4 florins. Look at it, and then go, that's an unlucky amount, and then round it up to the nearest prime number.
Nice. Okay. So 5 florins.
5 florins.
I think he rubs his palms and accepts that offer, and very, very good. I'll
what
happily
could you buy
house
5
your
florins?
horses. All the nursery needs.
An entire new set of cobbler's tools.
Damn.
From scratch. Or leather workers' tools. Which, when you think about that, it doesn't sound impressive as a D&D character, but...
Oh, I mean, for him,
but
life-changing.
For a person who... Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps livestock, so if he added, some artisanal leather working into his repertoire, that could be quite life-changing for him.
Yeah. A magical focus, a healer's kit. That's actually pretty impressive. A good hunting track, a mechanical lantern.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A vial of fine perfume. A signet ring.
Damn.
Like, this is really excessive stuff.
Lord Agapito.
Yeah. It's slightly excessive stuff, but yeah.
Well, it works. He's in.
Yeah.
He's not going to put himself in any physical danger, but
yeah, of course not.
And actually, yeah, for that,
we're not asking for physical danger.
For that, though, he also says, once we get to the market,
yeah,
I will introduce you to my friend who saw it all happen.
Oh, thank you. That would be very useful. So here we go. He could almost buy a donkey.
Cool.
Like, if he chucked in some savings, some earnings, he could get a donkey, and that's not nothing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So you get there, you come into the town, and he heads to the sort of corner of the market that he usually is in, and he waves over. Let's come up with a name for this guy.
Yeah. Oh, and the idea is that we're not keeping them saddled and bridled and ready to go, because that's actually bad for horses long term. No. But we're sort of like, if you see us coming in a hurry, have them ready to go.
Sure.
And feed them, and yeah. Keep them safe, and
Are you going to try and use his cart as like a hiding place? Because he's probably going to want more money for that, because that's like involving him more. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Then he
just
won't
come
ask
into town
money.
with it.
Yeah.
And then, depending on how things are going, we might go out of town with him. But like, that would be if it's safe to go out of town quietly on a cart.
Once you reach the market, he waves over his friend Ponzio, who is a
Ponzio.
A Vulpocefali. Yeah. Foxhead.
Ponzio.
And you can just tell from looking at Ponzio, you are in luck. This is a town gossip.
Oh.
Just the way he comes over, and he's like got the swagger of like, I know what's what, and like he comes over, and as soon as Agapito asks him to elaborate on what happened, you get the story and just like full technicolor. Like,
wow, wonderful. I was thinking we were going to have to take him to a tavern and buy him.
No. This is someone who loves to tell a yarn.
Right. Okay.
So he elaborates on the story, but it's basically what you've heard before of like, he said this, and then the fight escalated, and then he got taken away. What do you want to ask?
Do you know where he was taken to?
Oh, absolutely. Because I asked Thing, who said to my cousin's aunt and his mother, blah, 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 chain of gossip. He is 100% in, where did I say the barracks were? He is in the North Tower, and you can tell, was it that?
North.
Oh, sorry, that's West. He's in the West Tower. Yeah. He's in the West Tower, and you can tell this because you can hear the ringing of his hammer at all hours.
They've pressed him into service.
Yeah, absolutely. And he goes, I know this person who knows this person, who's a mercenary in the keep, who confirmed that it was him.
I see.
They even say he's chained. They even say that.
Oh.
Although, he's a blacksmith, so he could probably, be on and off. Yeah. Do you want to ask him anything else?
Do you know anyone who works in the North? Actually, we can ask it in a better way than that.
Here you go.
I think since he's doing the whole I got it from this person.
Yeah.
I think it's time to scoff at what he says.
Very clever.
And
very
get him to identify his sources more clearly.
Right, let's see if this works.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll a deception?
Go ahead and roll your deception, but you're going to have to roll really high because he's a gossip and his insight will be good. And he rolled really well.
Oh. Well, let's see how we do. No. Is the best one is a 18.
Okay. I got a 16.
Yeah.
He's a gossip.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon his wisdom is?
Probably average, honestly.
Okay.
It's like...
for his insight.
Yeah, so if you roll a 16, if he's trained in insight, then you have a +2.
Probably is, isn't he?
Yeah. If he's
so
a
he beats
commoner...
you with a 19.
Well, is he a commoner or is he a...
He's probably a commoner, yeah.
Then he'll have nothing.
Nothing. Okay,
on.
so he'll be tied.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think he has a bit of a glint in his eye of like.
But yeah, Ruslan and Valentino failed. So
oh yes, he is totally Louis. Yes.
Oh,
he's totally Louis.
Yes.
Absolutely. I can't do the impression, but like, yes, that is what is happening right now.
I love Louis.
Yeah. Oh my god, his stories are the best. I want to watch Ant-Man again now.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, I love Ant-Man. It's so good. Anyway, carry on.
I think you're going to have to silver his palm a little bit. Just silver, not gold it. You're going to have to silver his palm a little bit because you've sort of impugned his honor a little bit here. And
Yeah.
But once you do that,
I think it's another thing where we explain what we're trying to do, at least a bit.
And you can.
But then again, he's a gossip. So
he is a gossip. So are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, it might not be the best.
So on one hand, he's a gossip, but on the other hand, you can tell this is a guy with a chip on his shoulder. I think he'd like to see some authority figures, have a fall.
And
so
hopefully we're going to be in and out before he... we're not trying to buy his silence for all time. We're trying to buy his silence for
1 day. Yeah.
A day.
Can you use his gossiping to your advantage in some way?
Oh, probably can. And I'm wondering if we can spread a rumor that he's actually doing work for one of the factions in particular.
Ooh, cool. I like it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so the two things that we want are... Oh, actually, hang on. No, I cannot come up with the gossip that I want him to share.
Okay.
Because Ambrogio has wisdom of 8.
Right.
He is not good at reading these situations.
But does Ruslan do it, or...
Ruslan's wisdom of 10.
And Valentino's 8. You guys need Leona to come up with clever plans like this.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. We are bad at book learning. Valentino's the best, but we are really bad at, fast thinking, coming up with clever plans, reading the room. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have book smarts, but we don't have street smarts either.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you want to do instead?
Okay, so I think we can go with a simple plan, which is, do you know someone who works there?
Right, okay. Once you silver his palm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does. Let's come up with the name. Oh no, let's just go straight to that.
Yep.
Yeah. I know one of the captains there. Baldassare El Grande.
Baldassare.
Roll your insight, Ambrogio. Just Ambrogio.
Just
Ambrogio. Oh no.
8.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Whee!
Baldassare El Grande. Yes, he's my neighbor's mother's nephew, and he rattles off the connections. And,
yeah.
He's got a little bit of fame from campaigns and such, and yes, I can hook you up with him. And Valentino's no, that's all right. Thank you. No.
Okay, and then once he says that's all right, I'll ask him. He was going to give us a contact.
And we would be exposed because he is my rival. You've faced each other a few times in battle. Me and Baldassare.
You have a rival?
Yeah, well, Look, you know how I was in Matauro doing my mercenary apprenticeship, right?
Right.
And Perusi is the rival of Matauro.
Oh.
And so we've met, and he will recognize me. We have like this whole thing, you know, rival young men of the same age sort of thing. Like, no.
Right.
We do not want to talk to that guy. He will recognize me. Unless you guys want to rock up without me, no, that's out.
Okay, that's out. All right, what's our plan then?
Well, now I know the extra level of we need to avoid being identified by Baldessaro, and he like pulls down his hood or whatever.
Well, if they've got him working, they're unlikely to take money for his release.
That's a pretty good guess.
Yeah, because he's just more valuable than.
But that's an official channel that you would spend money on. There are many unofficial channels that you
can
spend that
but
money
like,
on if needed.
If he's worth that much, and finding someone who's like, "Hey, do you want to like let him escape?" It's like it's not worth their while. So, and yeah, I think this is also Ambrogio sort of struggling with his plans. So, Ambrogio thinks about this for a little while. Actually, and then Ambrogio says, Valentino, what would you do? Ruslan, you used to, well, what would you do?
Use the lay of the land against them.
The lay of the land.
What weaknesses do our enemies here have that we can use against them?
Well, they don't like Mataro, and oh, they're all feuding with each other.
We could use that. We could
use that.
We could use the feud against each other. We could use the feud against the Irons. That's
right.
Those are options.
And then Ambrogio thinks about this. Could we do each of the towers follow a particular prince?
Are you asking Ponzi now?
Yeah.
Ponzio, not Ponzi.
Ponzio.
Ponzi scheme. Yes. Yes, right. Absolutely. Each of them has their sort of major patriarch, matriarch.
Yeah. Could we say that we are moving him to a different location?
Ponzio's thinking about it. You could set them off against each other. Roll your insight.
Yeah.
Ambrogio again, yeah.
Oh, okay. I actually rolled well this time. 17.
You think hard about the physical appearance of Ponzio for a second.
Fox person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you notice, like,
when you
met him, you're like, he's like really dirty and disheveled, and he has this sort of like, I'm a Cockney. Like he's really like muddy and sooty, and then you think about it and you're like,
deliberately.
He must like never wash that off because he's trying to look brown or black almost.
Yeah.
To hide that he has orange fur. He's probably got quite the chip on his shoulder.
Right.
You could use this.
Well, I think the best plan that Ambrogio's got at the moment is possibly with Ponzio on our side too. I take off my thing, he cleans himself up, and then we pretend to be
Sort of like honoured pets of the Orangers.
Actually,
like the only reason why we're walking around in daylight is because we're here as,
we're
emissaries of this prince.
To check on Stefano.
Ooh, very interesting idea. I like it.
Because we've heard that he's being held by a different prince's tower, and so we're here to make sure that we don't get jumped. And that could get us in to see him.
That's a very interesting thought. Can I have... Oh, this isn't going to go well. Oh, no, it might go well. Roll history for everyone, please.
Okay. 16 for Ambrogio.
Nice. That might do it.
Off the table for that one. 18 for Ruslan.
Okay, I think that's enough, but... Yeah, even with that, it's enough.
12.
Ruslan's scratching his beard, and then he goes, hang on. If you're going to be pets of the dragons, we're going to need to buy you nicer digs. Because, pointing at Ponzio's dirty rags, like, they would not dress you like that.
Okay.
And Ponzio's like, oh, yes, if you're happy to provide, I would happily wear nicer, fancier clothing. You actually probably have something already in your...
Whether I brought it with me isn't
actually, that's a good point. Did you bring it with you?
Probably not, honestly.
No.
And it won't be the right colour or cut or anything.
That's true. You have to go and get some orange livery.
Yeah. Well, I think our options here are either...
But Ponzio does know that such things can be procured second-hand,
Yes, that was what I was just about to say.
And he knows exactly where to go.
Like, we'd either have to get something
and it's his
made
cousin's
custom,
mother's blah, 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 blah,
or we'd have to go to a pawn shop.
Yeah. He knows exactly where to go, and he can get it on the cheap.
And it's possibly a black market pawn shop. Yeah.
He knows exactly where to go.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do it.
Cool. Okay, he leads you there. And what is the usual price for fine clothing? We'll just knock some percentage off that because you've got the connect.
Yeah.
Fine clothing. Clothing fine?
15.
Clothes fine. 15. Oh, yeah. No. I think he manages to arrange it so that it can be a rental. A suit hire.
I mean, that's basically what we want, right?
Yeah. Because this is his cousin's mother's brother.
Yeah, I think it's something that we probably do put down the 15, if not more. Because it's like, you couldn't buy this in the shop, so no. But you can get your deposit back, mostly.
Yes. Yeah. How much do you think the hire should be in the end, if you manage to return them?
Probably, honestly, 20 to 30 gold each.
That's 15 gold.
Yeah. But this is do you want the specific thing that you cannot buy in the shops?
Sure. But what's the higher price when you return?
Oh,
how much are
right. Yeah. I don't know, just a couple
them?
Of florins.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Because that's just pure profit for them.
Yes, that is a good point.
Yeah. I think they charge from the nose because of the cost of getting it, the scarcity of the item, the fact that it's illegal, the fact that we're desperate.
Roll your insight, please.
Yeah.
All three of you can do this one.
I got a 15.
Yeah, that's going to be enough. Don't worry about the others. Someone's going to have to say or do something because from the looks on their faces, this is going to spread like wildfire. A bunch of strangers from out of town, plus Ponzio, came in and purchased livery. This is the, they're going to
hang on, if this is a black market thing, then, keeping quiet about it
it's still going to spread. Maybe not immediately to the authorities, but...
Yeah.
There will be people peripherally around the black market who could profit from this information.
Yeah.
So it is going to spread.
Okay. Well, I think...
Unless you say or do something right now.
Let's probably put down another down payment.
Okay. I think that will secure their silence.
Oh my god. We should have kept track of how much money we've got because we're spending it pretty...
How much have you spent
So
you spent 5 on Thingy Bob.
Then we gave a bribe to...
maybe half a florin to him.
Yeah.
And then what was it, 30 florins here?
Per
per thing.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Swore.
20 per thing.
20
20 per thing.
Plus how much for the new bribe? 2?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have
So if we had a purse of 100.
Yeah. I was about to say you've got a purse of 100. So you've got just over 50 left.
Yeah, we've spent half our money already.
Yeah.
We'll get 40 of it back, assuming we can return these costumes.
Not the whole 40.
No.
You might get like 30 of it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more than that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
but yes, silence is...
Yeah.
It seems like it will be secured.
It's that same thing of we don't need them to be silent forever.
Exactly.
We just need them to be silent today.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So,
what do you want Valentino and Ruslan to do?
So right now, I want Valentino and Ruslan, while we're getting our costume sorted. Actually, I don't even want them to come to the pawn shop.
Sure.
I want them gone long before that.
Where are they going?
I trust Ponzio slightly more.
Yeah.
Only slightly, but slightly more. I want them to go be tourists.
Okay.
And if anybody... put on their worst fake Salonician accents if anybody stops them and ask for directions to the brothels or something.
Right.
We are merchants. If they're anything like Marco Polo, travels is pretty much like, here is this town. This is what they sell and buy. This is what their prostitutes are like. It's awful. It's so bad.
Awesome.
He had his priorities.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, so just like make up a story about we are lost, but go scope out the building.
Okay.
Just from the outside.
Let's have a few rolls then.
Entrances, exits. If they get challenged, just make up a story and move along.
Yeah.
Okay, so what rolls do you want? Perception, investigation, deception.
Let's roll their deception first. Yep. Roll the deception first.
This only really matters if they get stopped. But Ruslan's got a 21.
Nice.
And Valentino doesn't.
What did he get?
He's got a 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what happens here? Okay, no.
Yeah.
So, Valentino nearly screws up when he thinks he sees Baldassare out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah.
But Ruslan manages to keep up the act enough that it's convincing enough that the mercs who are staring at you for a little bit longer than staring at them for a little bit longer than normal sort of go, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea is that they just mean to walk past in a crowd.
Yeah, and the city is very busy at the moment because this war is going to start any day now. Like, people are super sure. Like, I mean, it's winter, so it might not start until spring, but people are, gearing up.
Yeah.
But there's not, because people are so focused on that goal, there's not a heck of a lot of unrest. Like, the little explosion that Stefano had was quite out of the ordinary. No one else is really pushing that agenda right now. So the town's a bit quiet and focused on this. Busy but quiet, focused.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what's coming.
Business.
Yeah. And as such, you're able to get close to the keep, and there are huge crowds there because there are lines of mercenaries arriving from, not mercenaries, but a lot of farm boys and stuff, arriving to sign up to be mercenaries and stuff. People walking by recruiting for different companies. The city guard is maybe a little bit
so it's
lax
like a recruiting posters.
Yeah.
In like a courtyard.
Yeah. In fact, I sort of did a crappy drawing. I'll just draw it again now here. But so, like, here's the west tower.
Yeah.
And the wall. And it's like, here's an enclosed complex that has a gate, but it's open at the moment. So that's where it will be. But it's open because people are coming, going, running errands and stuff. There's definitely some buildings in there. You can hear the ting, ting, ting of a solo smith. And you can't really see a lot from the gates without going in, but you can see that it's like, it doesn't look like there's a big smithy there.
Yeah.
It looks like this is a small smithy for like emergency jobs that are needed by the people who are here, and they would probably go somewhere to like the bigger smithy further in town for those sorts of jobs. So he's probably being kept in the tower at night, and then, or unless their jail is one of these outer buildings, you could ask people if you wanted to know. But and all around are different barracks and company areas.
Where the sound is coming from?
It is coming from this corner here.
Cool. Okay, that's good.
And you can sort of see the buildings. Yeah. Sort of see that there's an outdoor courtyard around a L-shaped building, and like you can see the smoke and steam and everything rising from there occasionally. And ting, ting, ting. It's all going on. Yeah, like barracks and administrative offices and stuff.
So are they just going past around here?
Yeah. The gates are maybe a little bit wider than I've drawn. Yeah. I will show people what I've drawn, because it must be frustrating to not see. So there's that L-shaped building that you can see, and the smith is over there. Okay, and that's the West Tower.
Right.
Presumably, if you had a good enough excuse, you could just march straight in there.
Yeah, which is what...
and the people have the people going in and out mostly have the crest of the city guard, the company that's specifically contracted at the moment to be the city guard.
Yeah.
Roll your insight for the two of them, please.
Okay. Ooh, okay. 15,
very well done.
15 and 17.
I think with their backgrounds, they can both glean this very easily, and maybe overhear it as well. The company that are contracted...
they're both soldier backgrounds.
Yeah, so. The company that are contracted to be the city guard.
Yeah.
It maybe was a point of pride in the past, but now they're like, crap, are we going to get stuck here while everyone else gets to go off?
Huh. Yeah.
They're worried that like the period of time that their contract is going to last for means that like they may well just get stuck here. So they are restless. They're seeing all this activity at these other barracks and looking jealous, and some of them maybe seem like they might be attempting to break their contracts and skip into another mercenary company if they can. The current faction, who are the city guard, are not happy.
Right.
Yeah, because they are missing out on all the fun, potentially.
And then, the other question that Valentino and Ruslan are particularly looking for is, are there any other ways in and out?
Ooh. Let's roll your perception or investigation for this one, please.
Sure. So, let's see. I've got a +1 either way for Valentino, so he's got a 9. So, no.
Not him, no.
And Ruslan has a -1 or a +0. So he's got an 8, so not him. So no, they don't notice any hidden things. They're completely blind, dumb, deaf.
I will give you one more chance.
Yeah.
I want you to roll... Oh, what would this be for them? Oh... Ruslan, give me a... It's like an empathy skill.
Insight.
Okay. I want insight for Ruslan, and I want a reasoning one from Valentino.
Oh, I would actually call it, if it's like logic.
Yeah.
I would actually call it Arcana.
Go ahead. Arcana.
Think of it in like real world definitions of Arcana.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Valentino does quite well at the logicking.
we haven't been able to figure anything out.
Yeah.
But we could always ask some of the people who live here, especially, and he points to a group of beggars who are pigeon-headed. They can fly. They might be able to see things that we can't.
Well, I think they're not going to do that just yet.
Purse is getting a little bit light.
Purse is getting a little bit light, and also the goal is not to talk to people now, not to draw attention to themselves. Just scope out the building.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there are what's the Latin? I actually wrote this down.
For pigeons.
Yeah, for pigeon-headed. I actually wrote this down because there was actually a pigeon head you were supposed to meet earlier, and then it didn't happen. Columbocephalo. Columbocephalo, yeah. There is a group of columbocephali.
Are there also PIs in the spare time?
You'll never know until you speak to them. Okay. Are we cutting back to the other team now?
I think so. Yeah. So they've got this stuff, and I think we just meet up now and swap notes.
All right.
So yeah, we've got our costumes, and Valentin and Ruslan reveal what they found out, and I think the big thing is the city guard are not happy.
Yeah.
So that's the one where Ambrogio's like, there's something that we could do here. But let's try the first plan.
Sure.
Which is... Okay, so
you're going in and in the livery of, let's come up with the name of
Ponzio and Ambrogio in their fancy uniforms. Pulls off his little beanie and the hair explodes everywhere.
Maybe you're the Citrino family.
The Citrino family. Nice.
You're in the livery of the Citrino family, and you are heading up to the West Keep. Yeah.
And I think we just walk straight into the compound.
Yeah. Okay. Let's roll 2 dice because I'll get you to roll for Ponzio, but he'll use so basically roll advantage.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'll roll for
Deception?
The guards.
Was it intimidation? I'm quite good at intimidation. I'm not so good at deception, but I'm still pretty good.
This is a hard one because on the one hand, it's also like a performance.
Yeah.
You're putting on a performance of thing, but you're also deceiving, but you're also persuading and intimidating.
Well, I'm proficient in 2 of those, and I'm not in the other 2.
I'll let you take the 5 rather than the 3 on this one, because it is a clever plan. I like it.
Cool. That'll be a 25 or a 22. Yeah. Wow. Okay,
you don't even get questioned.
So hard.
The guards at the gate are just sort of like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're storming in with business, and this is not out of the ordinary at all.
Yeah. So.
But the other 2 aren't with you, or are they coming?
No, they're not coming with us. Yeah.
They parked sort of in the square here.
Yeah, they're just sort of parked nearby. And probably where they can watch the entrance.
Absolutely, yeah.
Jump in if they need to. Well, given that the 2 of us are in and no one has stopped us or challenged us or anything, and we know where the smith is.
Ponzio is chittering nervously. This is farther than I've ever been.
Stop him and then point that way. And we'll just go straight to the smithy.
Yep. And you come across the little demon horned head and body of Stefano. Well, his name is Selenizzi, but you don't necessarily know that at the moment.
Yeah.
Smith working away at just some stock swords, much like you were doing in Felsina, just like boilerplate sword. Looking bored and angry and just so frustrated.
Does he have anyone with him?
Ooh.
Like, are they watching over him, or are they...
Yes, he does. He has a guard in the corner, sort of there.
One of the soldiers? Guards?
Yeah, so pretty disaffected looking and not super happy right now.
You, release him.
I need that intimidation roll, please.
Sure.
Yes, yes, you can use advantage for it.
Well, I've got an 18.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty intimidating.
If he weren't super demoralized right now, he might question you.
Yeah.
But one glance at your livery makes him go, oh, yeah. Roll your insight.
Sure. I got a 9.
Okay. So you don't read anything more into his look, but yeah, he comes over and just jangles it and cool. And Stefano is looking you up and down like, Citrino, eh? That's a bold move. All right. If they want to use me as a pawn, whatever. I don't care. He mumbles dirt about dragons playing their stupid games and
silence. Surely you'd have learned better by now than to. Surely you would have learned the cost of mouthing off by now.
Can you roll your intimidation, please?
Yeah. Nope.
He keeps bitching, and actually, he calls you two sluts. Because you are, like, you're, obviously already sort of known insultingly as pets. But the other thing that people would say about the pets of the oranges is that they are their cupbearers. And so he is now, saying, do you enjoy taking it from behind?
Hold him.
You're going to give him a smack.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's convincing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just apologise a lot later.
But... you roll with advantage. This time I roll with disadvantage.
For intimidation.
Intimidation, yeah.
That's a 20.
Yeah. He's intimidated.
Yeah, that's a 20 after we rough him up a bit.
Okay. The soldier looks like, fair enough.
Business as usual,
really. He's actually probably a little bit glad that the loudmouth finally sort of got what was coming to him, getting beaten up by people that they would commonly think of sissy boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's what you get.
That's what you get. And then, you know what, before we go, let's just drop a little bit more of that money around.
Okay.
And I want to misbribe him.
Okay, explain.
So, this is what I want to do. I want to thank the guard, for his service.
Yeah.
I will point out that if he wants to join a real company, he and win glory, he can sign up with the Citrinos.
Yeah.
And I will ask him not to spread the word that the Citrinos have taken him.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
And then misbribe him.
Yep.
Yeah.
How much are you misbribing him for?
So
you're like underpaying him.
Underpaying him.
Yeah.
Couple of silver.
Okay. Cool.
I expect this news to spread fast.
Cool. I love it.
Do you want me to roll anything for that one, or
no?
No,
it works.
We've already sold the
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you doing now?
Walking out the front door.
Walking on out. Roll your insight for the guards at the gate.
Yeah. I got an 11.
Okay. The most you sort of get is one of them actually like quirks his side of his mouth in amusement. Like shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
And it's finally something interesting happening for the city guard because they have had to be like just standing here watching while everyone else is getting. And he's like, "Oh, am I going to have to break up a riot later?" Awesome. Yeah. Time for some police brutality up in this.
So, once we get out,
yeah, where are you going once you get out?
Once we get out, we're going to march off into a crowd.
Yeah.
And as soon as we can, duck into an alleyway, produce the woolen hat, slap it over his head, change of clothes for everyone. And then
Ponzi rolls around in the mud.
Yeah, Ponzi rolls around in the mud. And quick instruction, like we're not going to be able to stop everyone from seeing us. Someone's going to see us.
Absolutely.
News will eventually get out, but this is all about like this is going to stop people today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell Ponzi to spread the news that the Citrinos were responsible for doing this.
He's ready to do this.
And point out what we've picked up of like, it's going to lead to some unrest.
Yeah. Are you taking the time to go back to the pawn shop?
Yeah, I think we want to try and get that money back. It's quite a lot of money.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna roll a couple things.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. You get lost in the crowd immediately as, like, this place was apparently a tinderbox.
Wow.
And it was ready to go off. So people are, like, there are tons of people moving towards, like, in between the West Tower and the Three Palaces, like, stuff's going down, and there are lots of people moving in towards that to join in on the fun, but there are also tons of people moving out, like, to not take part in that. It's very easy for you all to get lost, but it's also very easy to get lost. Right. So let's have some Stefano is fully on side now, like he realizes that you guys
and also we explain the full story to him. Like, I'm so sorry, please don't fail me. I want at least a B grade.
So we need to see if you can actually make it back to the pawn shop.
Cool.
All right. So
Streetwise, the skill that they cut from 5th edition. It's such a useful skill. Why would you cut it?
You can roll
survival?
Yeah. Well, no, you can roll a number of things because you can also include Stefano and Ponzio in this. Ponzio's already gone off and spread the news. Yeah. You can roll 4 people for this, and you can roll.
I want Ponzio gone.
Yeah,
because they will be looking for
a fox and
a fox and a man. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to rub some up in my hair just for the time being.
Sure.
Yeah. So I deliberately want to split up that group and have a different group of people, and he's getting the woolen hat so that nobody sees the devil horns. Yeah. Okay, so what are we going for rolls?
What's best suited for everyone? Survival. Sucks.
Yeah, Valentine's got a +1, but I don't know what else it would be.
Okay, you guys roll survival, and we'll get Stefano to roll with advantage because he is a local.
Yeah. Well, I've got a 17 from Ruslan, who has never been to where we're going.
And so everyone else got.
We shouldn't have rolled for him, shouldn't we?
Okay. You are caught up in the crowd, and you get separated. You and Stefano, Roslyn, and Valentino, 2 groups.
Yeah.
Can I? Where did everyone say they were going to meet? Did everyone say where they were going to meet?
So the plan is, once we're done with what we're doing, we're going back to the market, and we're going to try and get out that way.
Okay.
Back with the cart.
Roll.
Because there'll be a whole ton of people leaving at the end of the day, and they'll just do the same. It's 1 silver for everyone.
Roll with advantage for the two different groups.
Cool. All right. So.
Well, yeah, just no roll 2 dice for each different group.
So I got a 16 for Ambrogia's group.
Yeah.
And a 19 for Rosalind's group.
Okay. You guys managed to meet up again at the market.
Yeah.
Agapito's cart is not there anymore. In fact, a number of the people have left already. The people who are still there are packing up in a hurry because they've heard about the riot happening a few streets over, and they're like, "Howdy, these crazy city folk! I'm going back to my farm." And yeah. But Agapito's gone, so yeah, he's already on the road. Presumably because he had less to pack up than other people. Yeah. And it took you like an hour to get here through the crowds of the riot. So, yeah, he had lots of time to leave. But you're able to, well, let's see, with some
I think
rolls.
We probably do another, we go up to another group and we say, hey, we came in with a Agapito, a farmer, but he is gone already. Did you see him go?
No, but I know who you're talking about. Why do you ask? What?
Well, we hitched a ride with him into the town while we looked for work, and we can always pull out our smithing contracts. That's why we're here. But we learnt that there's unrest and that maybe this isn't the best time for us to be here, so we're looking for a way out. Could we hitch a ride on your cart, please? Yeah, and then we...
Sure,
yeah.
You pay them how much?
I
only
think 5 silver.
Yeah, it's only a small amount.
Yeah, there's a pretty small...
Once money changes hands, they're happy, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to pay another, 5 silver to the gate guards.
I forgot that before as well.
Yeah, so just call it 1 total. Yeah. Did we get any of that back, or did we not manage to find that back?
Do you want to try and do it after you spent an hour rustling through the crowd?
No, if we're running out of time, then
it's heading towards sunset and stuff.
Yeah, then that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it.
You're out in the countryside.
Yep.
You managed to return to Agapito sort of later at night, and he's actually out on the steps, and he looks
pipe.
and he looks really relieved when you finally arrive. And do you ask to spend the night or what?
No, we'll head off immediately. But yeah, we'll thank him for everything and say that we understand that he left early because of the riots. And,
he makes sure that you've got enough oil for your lanterns for the ride and stuff. Yeah. But he seems very happy that you go.
We're not going to be doing a forced gallop or anything because that's a terrible idea in the middle of the night through hilly country. But there is a road. We are just going to follow the road.
Okay.
We're doing it at night because any pursuit will probably set off in the morning. That's the idea, is just make our way, not hastily, but just doing it now. Back up to Backon.
Okay, well, you're incredibly lucky because I rolled for when do they notice that he's gone?
Yeah.
Given that there's unrest and stuff, 20. So, not good.
Yeah.
They immediately notice he's gone.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, they noticed immediately when we took him out, so.
Sure, but someone important and not bribed by you and not just a disaffected soldier, presumably Baldessari, noticed that he was gone. And got the news from the guards and was like, something's up here.
Yeah.
This is not the play. And then was immediately distracted by the riot, which lasted for 4 hours.
Whew, that's all right.
But 4 hours was still enough. At night, he managed to get a force together and was like, right, let's track them.
Yeah.
Did not roll well on the tracking.
Oh.
So you were able to
and we
make
weren't
it
even
back.
really trying to hide our tracks or anything.
So you are able to make it back to Matara. I mean, if it had been a longer journey between the two cities, maybe they would have run into you. But no, you're able to get back to the safety of the rival city well before they're able to get on.
That was a nice, successful little heist. Yeah. Why is it the heist seems to be the dominant adventure type?
This actually wasn't supposed to be the main part of the story either, because now we've got the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the wedding is more, it's more role-playing, and it's sort of I don't want it to be NPC theatre, but there's a few things I need to drop on you.
Yeah.
So, like, that was the main, like, you guided by you part. This is now going to be the main guided by me part.
Yeah.
So,
cool. Let's have the cutscene.
Yeah. You return Stefano to Valerio.
Yeah.
And have to avert your gaze as there is a passionate embrace and a bit of kissing involved. So,
okay.
Yeah. So you all go, oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. We're gonna only hear and not.
I've noticed that ever since 9/9, you say
cool.
Much more.
I do.
Yeah.
It's
well, Tyrenian attitudes towards homosexuality is basically as long as as long as families are having children, then but no one cares what you do. But it's also it's like you're a bunch of dudes traveling, like you're like cool. Yeah.
Romance, whatevs.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Gay isn't gay. Romance is gay. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So you're all sort of like, like that sort of uncomfortable, like, ooh, displays of affection, yuck. Valerio is that apathetic and down attitude completely gone. He is so happy right now.
Yeah.
And is like, mistranslated. Which passage? Oh, the not lying with a man one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
My understanding with it has always been that the ancient world had a different definition of what homosexuality was anyway, which, like, would actually be against this exact thing here.
No, this is a happy gay couple. And
Tirenia does not have that hang up.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
Because the Bible here got written by a theatre girl, or actually by, like, the fanboy of a theatre girl. So, like... Yeah.
It means... Oh, right.
Because that is the definition at the time. Yeah.
Okay, so... And, it being quite late at night, you don't want to go...
I just realised that the camp follower of a theatre girl means something slightly different.
Yeah. Camp follower. So it's quite late at night, so Valentino doesn't want to go home immediately because, like, it will sort of disturb everyone to show up at, like, 2 a.m. So instead, you're invited to sup with a late night bread and cheese and wine with Valerio, and who sort of puts out a quick spread of food that he can muster up because it's time for a little celebration. Okay, right. And Stefano's telling the whole story to Valerio, and he's chuckling about you punching him, and like it's all very funny to him.
Yeah.
And later on, he says to you, "Hey, I'd love to do you guys a favor. Do you know anything about that sword you're carrying? It's just been like singing out to me the whole time I've been near you. Like,
I'll tell him the basics that I made it in Falsina.
I'm sorry, what? You made that?
Yes.
There's like the emanations I'm getting from it is like as powerful as some like ancient stuff that I've managed to see in my life. How did you make that?
Yeah. I tell the story. Born under the sign.
Yeah.
Always gifted with fire. And also the fact that it's inhabited by a spirit. And the spirit is my mother, so the kinship might be why it happened.
And he's just so blown away by this. He's like, that's like literally a miracle. Like,
yes.
Do you mind if I analyze? I will not hurt the sword in any way, but can I borrow it? like, while you guys are off celebrating his wedding, because you're not going to wear a sword at a wedding, can I analyze it for you? I can maybe help you unlock more abilities.
I'm going to roll an insight check here.
Sure.
Just, yeah. Hey, person I've barely met before. How much do I trust you?
You, from what your sort of more rational side is telling you, this seems like a purely academic interest. But what your
this is my mother
racist okay, there's your mother, and then also there's like you still feel a little bit like this is a demon, like, or not literally a demon, but like he is from demons, so like I don't like him, and so you're a bit
I think I'm gonna refuse.
Fair. Such a pity though.
And I'll explain. The sword is my mother. Actually, what does she say? Because I've got the sword at this point. What's she saying? Because if she says no, it's fine, go for it, then
she says it's fine.
Oh, okay.
She's interested to know more about it.
And
she doesn't understand how she's ended up in the sword.
In that case, I say no, and then I pause, and I say, but I changed my mind.
Really?
She wants to know more about.
And he sits for a bit and listens and talks to her. And wow. Just like mind blown. And he's like, I will take very good care of your mother.
Yeah.
And he just sort of like, whenever he moves, it's very worshipful, and it's like, this is like a sacred object almost. You learn tonight as well that Valerio, his speciality is the opposite of Stefano's.
Right.
He can exorcise swords.
Oh.
So if they've got some sort of like cursed enchantment on them, he can break it.
Yeah.
So if you have enough time to hang around with these guys, you can study. Well, because you've actually got a magical background, you could probably learn more than someone who doesn't have magic. Like, I don't think Valentino's going to be able to pick up a heck of a lot from them. He'll be able to pick up super basic stuff. But like, you and like if Leona could have learned, she would have learned heaps from them too. But so if you've got time to hang around, they will be able to sign off your passport with and analysis, and they're not teaching. He doesn't. Stefano can't actually forge enchanted swords. Like, that is. How does that even happen? Like, I guess a wizard could do it, but like, do you know any wizards? I don't know any wizards.
I don't know any wizards.
So like, wizards are super rich and rare.
I am a wizard, but.
Yeah, like.
But I'm still not, because it's just something that I can do. I have no real, like, wizard level control over it.
And he's going to be talking to your mother about that to sort of see if that's where it's coming from. And so he.
I was just born under a certain sign.
He will be analysing the sword. Mostly tomorrow, because like it's heading towards sunrise today. You guys are just going to be sleeping pretty much the whole day before the wedding, and the Smiths aren't invited to the wedding, so they'll be talking to Mum's sword, and cool. All right. I guess you head back to sleep now.
Yep.
Cool. You head back to sleep, and you sleep good and long, and okay. You wake up in time to hear Valentino is stomping up the stairs.
Right.
And you can hear the door to his room. You're pretty sure it's him, because you lived with him all those years.
Yeah,
you know
I know who stomps.
And the door to his room, which is across from yours, like slam open, slam shut, and
Well, I'll rise, splash some water.
It's maybe like almost dinner time, so it's a good time to do that.
Yeah, put on some clothes. And, go over and knock on the door.
Okay. Who is it?
It's me.
What do you want?
Ambrogio stops to think about, like, it's got a hostile reaction. Yeah, all right, actually. Well, nothing if it's such a hassle.
See you at dinner.
All right. Yeah. Done.
He takes a good long while to come down to dinner, and
right.
Rosalind's a little bit like, what's up with him?
Wedding tomorrow.
Right. Well, so you have a big family dinner.
Yeah.
It's the night before. It's sort of hard to tell, except where it's actually very hard to tell unless you're speaking to them directly and you can sort of feel their like aura of power. It's hard to tell who's a dragon.
Right.
Who's a dragon born with like super features. Yeah. Who's a dragon born but with minor features, and who's fully human. It's a big extended like Catholic family.
Yeah.
And yeah, besides the servants who are, you know, dressed like servants, everyone else, it's sort of hard to tell.
Yeah.
Who's who, and you get introduced to cousins and aunts and uncles, and you don't know who you forget the names. Yeah. It's like, and you don't get a lot of people talking to you because it's like, who are you? Are you his brother? Okay. I mean, that human is not important. Yeah. This human is even less important. All of the sort of group of girl cousins around Joya are obsessing over Leona. Like, Leona is the frickin' center of attention.
Cats.
Yeah. And Rosalind, he gets a lot of sort of polite chatter from people who come up to him and talk to him about mining and smithing and dwarf stuff. And he knows enough now from 18 years of being a dwarf and actually studying smithing to be able to hold this conversation. Yeah. But it is very much like, yeah, you've made an assumption about me. Yep, okay. Cool. Are you gonna press the issue with Valentino, or talk to Rosalind, or do anything with Leona, or is it just?
I don't think there's anything to do with Leona, really. No,
you are in the groom's party. You are going to be with him, behind him at the altar as like his best man.
So he's still all grumpy and.
He's not
a very moody boy.
He's not around Joya.
Right.
He's quiet and shy around all the family, but you see him a lot of the time just quietly murmuring things to Joya, and she'll like sort of sometimes giggle back or sometimes roll her eyes at him, and
Okay.
So whatever upset him before,
I think I just pass it off as nerves. And...
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And then apart from that, I think I'm a little bit sort of isolated in the crowd. You know? Yeah.
Maybe some younger cousins start to like talk to you because, you can do fire tricks.
I was at the Siege of Medellano.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole thing.
So you become a little bit of a
I can share some stories about that one, but it's still like
you're not super important here right now.
Yeah, there might be somebody who will actually ask me about the whole Siege of Medellano thing, but
actually, it could be one of the older people, sort of.
Even so, like this is good, like traveller's tales from someone who's on the scene. Yeah. But there's still a limit, and they might not care about it that much right now. Yeah, so.
The bridal couple are a bit more important, and Hey,
it's a bot. Wedding celebrants and bots.
So I'll just turn the music back on for the last part, because it won't take much longer. Yeah, it won't take much longer at all. This is sort of just theatre at this point. It's the morning of the wedding.
Yep.
And in the, guys getting ready and stuff. Doesn't take very long because you're guys.
We're all in our nice suits with our big puffy pants.
But, in the next story up through the windows as you sort of wander the gardens, sort of kicking rocks around because it's boring. You can hear the titters of the ladies getting ready and, tears and arguments.
I imagine we've got the latest fashion, which has got like the ruffs and...
Yeah, absolutely. You thankfully don't have to be in ceremonial armor. Valentino is not currently in that because he would die if he had to wear that all day long. So he is resting in what he will be wearing underneath. And what he'll be wearing at the reception after. And the armor is still just hanging up on a mannequin, all gleaming and perfectly polished and everything. And you guys are just kicking around. And he... and Ruslan's there. Ruslan's not in the bridal party, but he is hanging out with you guys because he doesn't.
Is he invited to the wedding?
Yes, he is. He is. But he's probably going to be sitting somewhere in the back. Yeah. And Valentino, at one point, one board point of the thing, does actually turn to you and goes, "Hey, sorry, I was rude last night."
It's okay. What was that about? Nerves?
There's this guy who's coming to the wedding tonight, and he it's sort of not really my business because it's Caius got family into debt. I didn't know about this beforehand, but he's been making some sort of deal, I don't know, to get his mercenary company up and running. I don't even know what the full thing is, but he owes all this money to this guy, and that same guy came here...
Sudden warning bells start going off in my head.
Came here on the evening of my wedding to threaten... Maybe it's a bit melodramatic of me saying threaten, but he came here to have a nice chat with me and Joya about our wedding and the future of this house and
he wouldn't be from the Benevoli, would he?
The mob. I don't know.
Ruslan told me our father owed money to them.
What?
And Ruslan helped him deal with it. Get him out from under their clutches.
Oh my God.
But that's what made me think of this.
That's what he meant. He said something about he knew my father. I didn't know what he meant by that before, but...
Right.
He said that I might need to work the family's debt off.
Well, is Ruslan with us now?
You can call him over.
Yeah. I think it's time to call him over and tell him the story.
Ruslan is ashen.
Who is it?
I don't know. Just describe him to me. And Valentino describes a saturnine man with black hair and black eyes. And Ruslan is shaking.
I put my hand on my hip where my sword should be and then find it's missing.
And then the bells ring to announce that the first of the wedding guests are arriving. and servants come out to usher you all back in to dress Valentino for his final hour as a bachelor, to dress him in his wedding ceremonial garb. You can keep having discussions in hushed tones, but there are Caius is in the wedding party.
You can't have those discussions anymore.
No.
Talk later.
The hour goes by tensely as you try to discuss more, but Caius is right there. Other cousins are in the room as part of the bridal party. And suddenly there you are, you're behind.
Why do none of these people borrow money from the bank like normal people? The legitimate mob.
The legitimate, the Fiamentines who will make you pay through the nose, but at least they won't punch you in the nose.
Well, actually. They will, but it'll be legal when they do it.
You are there, and Valentino seems to forget all of the panic of the last hour when he sees Joya looking resplendent in her wedding gown. And
Ambrogio now thinks for all that he's hassled him, they're actually quite nice together.
Yeah. And
then he, this stray thought crosses his mind. Once she's had the babies and is able to turn back into a dragon, he wonders how he would go about asking if he can have a ride on her. And then he's like, dude, you can't ask your brother's wife.
Your sister-in-law
you can't ask your sister-in-law for a ride, even if she's a dragon who can fly.
Oh my. You're going to have to find your own dragon for that.
Yeah. Maybe she's got a cousin. In a non-sexual manner. But is it inappropriate to ask your sister-in-law if you can fly on her?
You can see in the back Rosalind is still shaking and triangulating with his glare. You see quite near the front a tall, thin man with short black hair, black eyes, a large nose, and he is looking at you.
Me. Yeah. I know.
And you nervously look back at the couple and...
I think I know things that Ambrogio doesn't know because Ambrogio is wisdom 8.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is a man giving you...
Weird looks,
and it is very, very uncomfortable.
Yep.
He exudes power.
Yep.
And then you are all ushered to the reception. This is, of course, modern wedding stuff, but there's going to be a feast after the ceremony. There's going to be a feast after. Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do.
And for full details about how weddings did take place, check out the Tirenia campaign setting when it comes, which I know I've written a section on that months ago. So, full cultural details. Anyway.
In the sort of organisation of getting everyone to where they are, Valentino finally manages to have a moment alone with you, and he says, to protect Joya, I'm going to serve him. But you guys go deal with Leona first. Go to Montemiliano, get Leona back, and then come and help me escape.
Ambrogio eloquently says, what?
I'm going to go to Climiopolis with him. For Joya's sake.
But
I can't have him hanging over her like this threat and stressing her out and maybe endangering the life of my child. I'm going to go with him. You guys go and save Leona and then come and find me. And
he's what you and Mother, he's who you and Mother was so frightened of, isn't he?
No. This is Valentino saying this to you.
Oh, Valentino.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoops, wrong person. All right, let's go back to her.
Yeah.
No.
Valentino was saying that he wants him to work for him because the family owes money.
Yeah.
So you take care of our sister first, and then you come and find me. I don't want to see you until I see Leona too. You hear?
Okay.
And then he goes off and he's all smiles and he's acting the happy new husband.
Jeez.
The night, and he plays the part perfectly while you and Rosalind are sweating it out. You're up at the high table.
Rude.
You're up at the high table with him, and you're surrounded by cousins and stuff. You can't really say anything, and you and Rosalind just cast desperate glances across the tables at each other. And the whole time, there's this guy who's now, rather than just staring at you, subtly grinning at you the whole time. And when it finally gets to the toasts, he, once it's polite for him to have a turn, he stands. For those who do not know me, I am Nero Sommerso Ossidiana. A close personal friend of the family. I would like to wish them all the happiness.
And that their first child will be a masculine child.
And that their first child shall be a masculine child. It is a day of poignant feelings for me. Valentino, you're a strapping young man. I knew your father well, and while I'm happy for you, I am only reminded that I had a son, and he was around the same age as you, and, well, that's a sadness that I shall have to bear.
I'm not wondering if he's a black dragon. I'm pretty sure of it.
I look forward to the continued good relations between our families. And he says a few more platitudes and then sits down. And
I think Ambrogio has this just massive feeling of like, I can't put my finger on what's wrong, but something is massively, massively wrong.
And then when everyone gets up for the dancing, Ruslan plants himself between you and Valentino and goes, "Love you very much, Valentino," grabs you by the arm and just walks right out.
Yeah.
And goes past the smithy.
Yeah.
Goes in for the mum sword.
Yeah.
And it's still there. I will have a, like, I will tell you next time what it is that Stefano has to say about the sword. But you get the sword.
Yeah.
Rosalind,
we're getting out of here right now.
Just straight up steals the horses that you were acquainted with earlier, and you leave.
There's this one problem with getting out of here right now.
What?
What about Leona?
Oh, don't worry.
Oh, okay. Right.
He somehow managed to...
I guess that's the only thing he's had on his mind this whole time is I've got to organise this.
Get out. So at some point, because of course Julia didn't have her during the wedding ceremony, so he managed to get over to the group of girls that had Leona in their care. And because, Leona knows who he is, having lived in his beard for like a month, she came over, bounded over to him, and he was able to leave.
Is she the oldest kitten in the world?
Well, technically, yes.
Does she have, like, extra knowledge and experience over a regular kitten?
As you've travelled with her, yes, it feels like this is not a baby animal.
Some of that has gone back.
This is not a baby animal. Yeah. This is, and she definitely seems very intimate with you two. Like she knows you.
Yeah.
So yes, some of her memories, some of her intelligence is still there. But then just when you think like she might open her mouth and talk, she like falls over or does something like stupidly cute, and it's like yeah. So that's where she's at. Yeah. But you leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
You flee.
Yeah.
Curtains shut. The end of episode 6.
Yeah.
Act 3.
Yeah.
All right.
That was definitely it's Act 3 time.
Oh, you're wondering, are you?
Yeah, I'm not one movie, The Black Dragon. I'm when his name was Black,
yeah.
Black, Hello, I am Black.
My naming is so original, right?
I know. Rat the Rat. Black
the Black Dragon. Oh, Bloody Iron, the Iron Dragon.
Yeah.
Citrine, the Orange family.
Yeah. To be fair, my naming is much more original than that. That's something I always should I just change everyone's names so that they're not so on the nose? Ruby the Red Dragon.
No, I love my obvious names.
Black.
Yeah, Nero, Submerso, Obsidiana. Yeah. It's just lean into it. Lean in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Well, I'm pretty sure who he is and what he's talking about there, because that wasn't particularly subtle.
Well, perhaps in the start of the next episode, you and Mumsword can have a very interesting conversation.
Yeah. And I think Ambrogio still hasn't put it together. Because when wisdom is your dump stat, he's just this is feeling awfully pointed and something is going on when he stares at me while talking about how he had a son my age. This man from the city where my mum and my dad figure ran away from while saying, never go back there. Ever, ever, ever. That would be a terrible idea.
Oh. I just remembered there was another plot thread that I left hanging earlier, and I need to tie it in eventually. But yeah, I think we had better wrap it up there, right?
Yeah, it's bedtime.
Oh, keep talking while I do this.
Okay. Well, here's another question. XP.
Oh, where are we up to?
Well, last time I leveled up, we got to level 3. Actually, the last level up I've actually got written down for experience points is that we were level 3 for the siege.
Oh no, you didn't have time with the smiths.
No, I didn't have time with the smiths.
Sadness.
I think once the campaign is over, there'll be a sort of montage of and then he went back to all the smiths that he visited before.
Yeah.
And got
You might have time to visit Fiumense on the way to Montemiliano, but on the other hand, maybe you do sweep up later so that Leona, if Leona comes back. Yeah. That just happens off stage.
Yeah.
And we're just wrapping up all the family stuff for this campaign.
Family.
Yeah. This is a soap opera around family.
So the last thing I've got is that we had 900, but that is going into the Siege of Medilano. So we're actually behind.
Let's see. So that was going into the Siege of Medilano, and the Siege of Medilano was episode 4, right? Yeah. So
we had one fight at the end, but we had a bit of sneaking around to get into the city as well.
Yeah.
Session 5, we just had the people who were like, why don't we talk to you instead of fighting? And they said, okay, we're happy to talk to you. And then that was it.
And this time you managed to avoid the fight by coming up with some really good plans in Perusi. Yeah. So that's an encounter.
Yeah, there were some encounters in Perusi, which we dodged because...
So you're saying 4 quest successes over the last 3 sessions?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah. I can't remember what the maths was for how many I need.
Well, we'll figure that out off camera.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Okay, we will be back
next week
with... Yay, we're finally going to Montemiliano and I get to do the thing I've always wanted to do there! Woo!
This is the other one of your...
Zagura and Montemiliano I have had plans for.
Yeah, I know Montemiliano, once I came up with the high concept, you were super excited for it.
I have had ideas.
Copper Dragon Party Island.
I have Copper Dragon Party Island, and the other half is monks.
Yeah.
Going boo hiss Party Island.
Yeah, grumpy monks. Stop partying on our island.
I am so ready for this. I have been waiting for so long for us to get to this island and to do the Copper Dragons. Yeah. They are my favorite dragon. I'm so excited.
I wonder what my favorite dragons are. I know growing up it was the silvers.
Yeah.
Dragonlance loves silver dragons. Silvers and blues seem to be like the big. Yeah, the silvers are the most.
You've got a lot of love for the blues in this.
Yeah, I think that comes from Dragonlance too. Because in Dragonlance, the reds are like, oh, we're just like big and angry. Whereas
malice.
Whereas the blues are like more lawful than evil. And that definitely carries through here. Yeah, so,
definitely.
Yeah, the blues are the ones who are like, yeah, we'll work with people, we'll join the armies, we'll look at the bigger picture, we're sensible. And you always get the feeling in like 5th Age that like of all the lords, there's the red is awful, the black is a mad scientist, the green is a tyrant, and the blues are like a tyrant, but the economy goes on and people can actually have their lives. And I mean, he's horrible, but he's. Oh, and then there's this,
and you can see him in Bitsy Chapter 11.
Yeah.
I had him speak really casually in that because it's like he was talking to another dragon.
Yeah.
There's no way he would talk to a human like that.
I mean, I kind of think
or would he would.
Remember, he was sort of going to show up.
Voiced by what's the guy who does Hades? James Spader?
I don't think it's James.
Loza, who is it? Who does Hades' voice?
Sure. James Spader is Ultron.
Well, maybe it's Ultron.
And Daniel Jackson. Original Daniel Jackson.
Yeah, maybe maybe it is James Spader because like he does a good line and like sarcastic casual.
Yeah.
James Spader? James Woods. Okay.
Woods.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
either one of them.
If you have got our introductory guide to Tirenia, and you've had a look at the adventure in there, bonus cut material was originally when you were in the parade, you were going to be on the float with Zafiro Il Magnifico shouting out obscene poetry.
That's right. I forgot about that.
He's like the Lord of the Banks and one of the biggest, most powerful people, but he also writes naughty poems in his spare time.
I sort of want to use that again somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, we decided we shouldn't have like obscene poetry in.
Can I put it in chapter 12 somewhere?
I don't know. But
I don't see where it would fit. No, but
yeah, he wrote non-obscene poetry too, but like
right.
Yeah, also obscene poetry.
I love him too. He's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that he's on the cover of that book.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I also love that he's the one who's like, oh, you're a humanist? You're also very smart, so that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you ever do anything against me, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
But we're besties.
No, you know who he is. Who he is. He's Matt Berry as Denim. What's his name?
Reynolds.
Reynolds. Yeah, Reynolds. Yeah. That's who he is. Headcanon now. I can't not.
The difference though is that Denim is an idiot.
Yeah.
Whereas Zafiro is extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
Which is why he's got his little court of super intelligent people. Who's like, I like all of you because you are actually geniuses. So I will pay all your bills. I will sponsor you. I will. Yeah. I am genuinely interested in hanging out with super intelligent people.
Mm-hmm.
And your politics are opposite to mine, but that doesn't mean we can't be friends. But if you ever try to overthrow me, I will kill you.
I love him.
I love him too. Yeah.
But there's someone I love even more who you.
And we're going to meet him next week.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've been building up to this for like, 5 years? Something whenever you came up with what the coppers were, it's like
pretty early on.
Instantly I knew who lived there.
Yeah.
Instantly.
The bronze are my other favourites, actually. Which, like, you can also tell that one. Of, like, yeah, they kind of wound up being villains this time around, but they are, like, epic level, the main villains.
I sort of made, in the Bitsy, I sort of made them into, like, at least the one that I showed was nameless, which was pretty bad of me. And it was, like, a comical Nazi.
Yeah.
Fall guy. Like,
yeah.
A fail son. Like,
yeah.
Just a straight up bad guy who gets a comical ending.
Yep. Yeah, no, see, I
a spode, if you will.
So
a spode.
I guess when we did Armageddon, that was actually my two favourite factions of good dragons going.
Yeah, bronze and silver. Oh, I mean, that was so good.
That was.
Yeah. Good. It was good to see two good guys just with opposing.
Completely opposite morality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, look, it's been 3 hours. We should probably get to bed.
We should get to bed. I've got work tomorrow.
We just did like 20 minutes of analysis. Anyway.
Of who's our favourite dragons.
Yeah. Thanks so much, you guys.
Thanks, for watching. Everyone. Tune in next week for the penultimate episode.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for.
I think we're going to be doing it on the Friday morning. Weirdly. Really weird.
Are we?
I think on mid-morning, not
next week, the week after that.
Yeah, in 2 weeks' time. We can't do the Thursday night.
Yeah, in 2 weeks we'll be busy, so it'll be
But we have the next day off, so we'll sort of do it mid-morning to early afternoon, I guess.
Out for breakfast, but then after that.
Out for breakfast, we'll be back after that. So, just 2 more episodes. Can I actually wrap it up in 2 episodes? Well, I guess since we're doing the last one during the daytime, if it takes a little bit longer than...
Otherwise, we could have a bonus Christmas Eve episode.
How about no? We've also got to do a podcast on Christmas Eve. How are we going to do that and watch Die Hard at the same time? I thought the podcast was next week. Yeah, and then 2 weeks after that is Christmas Eve. I think maybe we're going to have to do it on another day. Anyway, we'll see what happens closer to the time. Anyway, love you guys. See you. Bye-bye.